Hey, Blind Mike, want me to make you a sandwich? Maybe you can get in between those two guys you do a show with and be the meat of the gay producer sandwich. So get up here and talk about me some more so I can add that to the fake lawsuit I'm filing. Everyone give a shout out for Blind Mike Geary.
I hope that wasn't recorded illegally because we might be in some trouble. I hope you asked for John's consent before we played that intro.
What's
Casey Day, hello, sir.
What's consent? Can you
It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. That's always been my motto, buddy.
Hey, Blind Mike. Happy Sunday morning.
Casey Day is with us again because Craig is again shirking his duties. This guy has gotten awfully, now that Rubbed Out has taken off and become a huge success, he's forgotten about us.
Yeah, it's the summer of the single ginger. What can you do?
That's true. He's probably out slinging his cock everywhere.
Ladies, beware.
All over New England.
Yes. Celebrating that Celtics championship. Sling a cack.
It was funny. We got a comment recently on YouTube, and I tend to read the comments, particularly for when it's from a name I recognize. And there was a name I recognized that commented, I'm unsubscribing.
Oh, no.
It's shameful that you guys don't acknowledge the co-host that died. And I said, what's that now? I didn't get the joke. And he's like, you have a co-host that died recently, and you guys just joked about it and made it a big. And I'm like, is this a joke that I'm missing? What's happening? So I said, who are you talking about? And he goes, come on, like you don't know your regular co-host. And I was like, I never even had a co-host. It's the Blind Mike Project.
Yes, you told me you don't like that word. I used it very in the beginning with Craig, and you're like, never do that again.
No. You're an underling.
Yes.
But he's like, you're telling me you didn't have a co-host die recently? And I was like, who? I kept asking, like, who? What's the name? Maybe I can clear this up. Because there was a time when we thought David Collins died. We cleared that up, thank God.
That's very sad.
Hackride is a demon, of course. He lives in the underworld,
Mm-hmm.
I could see where there could be some confusion there. And I guess a couple weeks ago, when you filled in, I said that Craig passed away.
You really thought so?
But Craig was on the next episode.
He's like Ginger Jesus back 3 days.
Because I've seen this guy comment on a bunch of stuff. He must know the show, but I was like, "Are you fucking with me, man?" Because it went over my head. You got me. What's going on here?
All right, trolls, you heard it. That's how you get Blind Mike. You just confuse him a little with some.
So guys, Craig is not dead. I just want to put that out there.
No, but he is down a whole person. He's down like 120 pounds. So maybe that's what they thought. Like a whole person has left him.
Yeah, where'd the other guy go?
Exactly.
Yeah. By the way, I mentioned David Collins. I have to apologize to my friend David Collins. He was in Boston this weekend, and I could not just get the timing to work to meet up with him. I did not meet David Collins this weekend.
That is upsetting.
I know.
That is upsetting. God damn it.
I had some shit come up yesterday. I was supposed to see him yesterday, and then I had some last-minute stuff come up, unfortunately. But I hope David Collins is not mad at me. Everyone should go check out David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. And he was on with Carl. So
yeah, He ain't mad at you. He hooked him up
Good.
with Carl. That's good,
Good,
for
good,
his numbers. He's a happy boy today.
Good. Yeah, Carl, by the way, not only stealing David Collins, but Joe Matarese content from us. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I will be. It's a
Shameful.
good time to announce that I'm going to be producing over WATP. So,
No, God!
I'm just kidding. I would never.
That's why Craig's not here today. You can have Craig. Leave me David Collins.
Don't call Craig a grenade. You're gonna throw him in some rival camp and explode on the. Don't do that to Craigers.
Yeah, you guys probably are impressed that I'm putting on a brave face, even though I am under such legal strife at the moment. I'm worried for my freedom. We will get to that. But in order for me to pay my legal bills, which I'm sure I will have a lot of, if you guys wouldn't mind super chatting today or just subscribing, becoming a member of our fine YouTube or Patreon, every week we put up bonus content. It's interesting that John thinks the best way to get back at people is the legal route. Like, John, you're a comedian. I'm a 32-year-old man that every week watches Quincy for 5 people on Patreon. There's not a way for you to cut me down with your words. You have to go to litigation.
He'd probably like you. He'd be like, "Oh, Quincy, I love Quincy."
I'd have John on to watch Quincy anytime.
You're the oldest 32-year-old I've ever met in my life. He's the youngest 58-year-old. He's like a 10-year-old. You guys would get along marvelously in person, I think.
There's plenty of stuff to make fun of, John. You don't need to sue me, but I guess that's the route we're taking. So we will get into that today, but go to blindmike.net. That's where all our links are. We own that website again. So go to blindmike.net. Support the show for free everywhere you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube. If you're watching right now on YouTube, smash that like button, as the kids say, and subscribe so you always get notifications when we go live. And become a Patreon or YouTube member, because that's the only place you're getting Why You Laughing for the next few weeks anyways. It'll be back soon, but if you want the bonus episodes and early access to episodes, then become a member if you would be so kind.
And gifted, turn on your gifted memberships.
There's
a link at the top there in the chat. And I got to say, for my money, Blind Mike membership is one of the best out there. He has so much stuff. I look backstage and I see all this stuff for members. I'm like, God damn, do some free shows. So if you like content, get yourself a Blind Mike membership.
Thank you, buddy. And check out Hack Ride's YouTube channel, because Casey Day is on there talking about Eric the Midget, Eric the actor.
That's right.
It's a why. If you like Why You Laughing, it's a similar type of breakdown, but they're live and interact with the chat, and they're going through every Eric the Midget call in the history of the Howard Stern show. So
up to call 19 right now, and my God, is it getting good?
Yeah, like I said, if you like the Why You Laughing stuff, it's definitely interesting to take a look at. So check out Hack Ride on YouTube as well. That's right. What, every Friday night?
It's Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We got 5 shows a week over on Hack Ride Studio, so just get over to Hack Ride and check them out. We're just a content pushing machine, so some of it's good.
Beautiful. Yeah, do that. All right. We got to get into... I should use my last few breaths as a free man to discuss Stuttering John and his lawsuit and his retirement. He's active on Twitter right now, by the way. He's complaining that he can't contact Google, and he had some bizarre tweet about the Dabbleverse. After he retired last night, he went on and said, I'm leaving the Dabbleverse. Like Nate Bargatze has a joke about how he thought about quitting comedy, but there was no one to quit to, so he just kept doing it. Apparently that's not the same in the Dabbleverse. John had to put in his walking papers.
Yes.
He had to submit it on the record. I'm leaving, everyone. And it's for that very reason I don't think he's leaving. The fact that he's still tweeting about Lady K and the shitware today makes me think that John will be back by tomorrow, if not earlier. But we'll see about that. Today we have other stuff to get into involving me. So let's dive into some Stuttering John, shall we?
Absolutely. So I have the you want to start with the July 2nd, 2 days before the 4th? Kind of setting it off.
which seems like eons ago, but we should start there because that's where my involvement kind of begins.
Yes, this first one is called The Law.
Okay, good.
And you can't handle it. Now, Lady K, I texted you today. You were on Joey C's show and say you're going to release more of my illegally recorded phone calls, which you know were illegally recorded. I let the organization that begins with an F, I sent them.
Okay, I want to address this right out of the gate. The organization that begins with an F, I believe, I have read between the lines.
Future Farmers of America.
I think he's referring to the FBI.
Oh, goddamn! I got that wrong. Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people have speculated what it could be. I think it's the FBI, and what I'm told is that John has been convinced it's actually illegal to use the FBI as a threat. So he has started saying an organization that begins with an F. Which I don't know why that wouldn't be illegal if we all know what you mean still, but
his is Mensa. This is Mensa thinking.
Yeah, this is like if it is a character that John's doing, it's brilliant because no one has ever played a buffoon like this. Because there are times where I'm like, he's fucking with. I've seen Carl go through this and others where like in your heart of hearts you believe the guy has to be fucking with us. No one would continually go through this for seemingly no gain.
Well, I think so there's a clip coming up where he talks to his mom, and it's kind of on hushed tones.
Yeah.
And I think he gives away the game. I think he gives away everything. We'll get to it, but
okay.
I think there is a very specific reason he goes through all this. And I would say he just found a way to teeter on the edge of this is my real life, and no, now I'm just going to embellish a little, and people love it. But it's him. I know what Carl's saying. It's all performative. You couldn't do this all performative. Like it would tear into your soul, you know. So
no, it's like Andrew Silverstein has become Dice. You know, I think after a while you just become that guy.
Along with your phone number, and I text you, and I said to you, "Look, you guys are already in a hole, but you're making it deeper." With every
that's sweet
clip,
of him to warn everyone.
It's a
that's he's kind. He's kind.
That's very magnanimous. Like, hey guys, I'm going to have to sue you and take your homes if you keep doing this.
Watch out for this guy who's going to sue you. Me, I'm going to sue you. It's it's quite the
helpful.
turn.
Yeah.
It's a pivot.
Another shovel, digging that hole deeper.
I love when he acts things.
And I say this to all of you: that was an illegally recorded phone call. It's not the content I'm worried about.
Oh yeah,
it's
no.
The law.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sure if Kate Meany put out a clip of you saying this gosh darn Donald Trump, he's no good for society. I think we need to elect Biden. I think he's great for the trans community and the gay community. I think you would have probably sued her into oblivion, John.
Yes, you called Kate Meany's mom because of the law.
Yeah, if the phone call was John saying, you know who I love is minorities and the downtrodden, John would say, that's it, I'm taking you to court.
What is on these tapes? Oh my God, I got to hear all these tapes. What could possibly be so? I mean, it's just a total hypocrisy police thing. That's got to be it, right? Where everything he's railed against, he is. Oh, I want to hear these tapes. Come on.
The law. And you guys don't seem to care. Blind Mike was like, here, John, I'm going to play it. Okay, Blind Mike. You just broke
Hold on, John. Can we clarify what it is? Because I want to make it very clear for your attorneys. What it is that I played is a tweet that is still up, by the way, of photoshopped Tony Soprano saying what you said. I don't know Kate Meany. I've never spoken to her in my life. Carl and Shuley, no one sent me these calls. I got it off Twitter. So I don't know what law I broke doing that. Maybe I should be more careful with who are these socials, because it's possible that every clip I send of public freakouts and Karen videos and stuff like that, maybe every time, maybe the laws are stacking up against me where I might end up doing life in prison for playing all these videos that I find on social media, John. What law do you think I broke?
Not only a state law, a federal law.
Oh, God. Well, no. Can I tell you a better way to say that? not a state law. Kate Meany did not break a state law.
No. No,
so what he should have said is not a state law, maybe a federal law, but my limited understanding, I'll give you that. My limited understanding is that the federal ruling on this is that they go by the state.
Yeah, and by the way, a man wielding an axe attacked tourists this morning in Los Angeles. This is what John wants to pull the DA and the cops off to go, hey, don't worry about these tourists from Brazil. They just got attacked really badly by an axe man. No. Stuttering John got a call.
I'm sorry, F something. Could you please help me?
And by the way, that axe guy, he'll be out by 2 p.m. today. So California does not care about you, John.
But I'm going to do a year, like in his mind, I'm going to do a year in prison.
The max and max fine, max everything.
Seriously. They do.
I made it is this next one.
Okay. I'll begin my civil lawsuit. And you guys are adding more and more names to it. I hope you
hold on, wait. So a civil lawsuit, my understanding would that would pretty much be financial, right?
Right.
Because John has referred to us rotting inside of a prison cell.
Conflating some things here.
But I've seen that the max fine for whatever crime John thinks happened would be like $2,500. I'll just pay it. I'm not a man of means, but like if it gets John to shut the fuck up, I'll just give him $2,500. Is that what you want, John?
No, give me 2 and I won't even file.
He just shakes you down.
If I do this with everyone, I could be rich.
So I don't think John has a great understanding of what a civil lawsuit is because he keeps talking like we're all going to go to jail. Like it'll be like the end of Seinfeld where me and Tukey are sharing a cell.
Yes. After bankruptcy, they put you in jail. Isn't that true?
I'm going to have to hire a bunch of lawyers.
Bunch.
I'm only going to hire one.
You're going to have to get a team, Mike. You're going to...
Why do I need a bunch of lawyers? We would all individually hire a lawyer, probably. We don't need to hire a bunch of lawyers.
Yes, John, they would all chip in 5% while you're paying 100% of your lawyer. So let's do some math real quick.
Yeah, this would be some kind of class action suit or something that we're all a part of.
And lawyers who know publicly that you don't pay your lawyers. So it's going to be hard to get a lawyer. I can tell you that.
But here's the thing I'm confused on. Like I said, I don't know Kate Meany at all. I've never interacted with her. I've been on I was just on Shuey's show the other day. Like I've spoken with him, but I don't know him. We've never had like real communication. Carl, I know, but he didn't send me this audio or anything. Like, what's the connection between all of this?
You hate me.
I would ask John, if I didn't get the audio from any of them, how did I get it? I must have gotten it illegally, right? But I just found it on Twitter. The tweet is still up, by the way. I could play it again, John.
No, don't do that. I'll sue you twice.
All right, fine. Right. I've already got enough against me.
You'll have to get 2 teams of lawyers.
But right now, the list is getting bigger. Kate Meany.
Yep.
Shuli Agar. Rocco Burrow.
Wow.
We'll find out who Cardiff is. Blind Mike. I'll find out his last name. If anybody knows
5.
It, let me know.
Hold on. Let me hear that again.
Yeah, sorry. Talked over it.
Blind Mike, I found out I'm going to find out his last name, which, guys, spoiler alert, he finds it. Now, I have been very subtly working my last name into... John doesn't know this part. It's been ever so subtle, where Kirk Minahan on his fine program, a podcast bigger than any of these shows, by the way. Like, that's what John misses is like, my name's been said on Barstool Sports, John. Kirk Minahan refers to me as Mike Geary. I had a character that I did once called B. Michael Geary. I did a show called Go for Geary. My last name is out there. It's also ever so carefully hidden in my Instagram handle, which it's tough to read. It's Blind Mike Geary. Now that could mean anything.
Blind Mike, I hate to tell you this, but you have a giant gear spinning right by your head right now.
Who knows what that means?
I know. It's just random. It's just totally
my patrons are called gearheads, but that's because I do so much car talk on the program.
You made number 5, though. Congratulations. Months ago, we can go back and be like, oh, I don't want to be in this universe. Now, you made it all the way up to number 5. And climbing.
That's what he's done to me.
I dropped you off at the pool and just left you here. Sorry about that.
Rocco Burrow. We'll find out who Cardiff is.
Oh, that finger. Oh, my God.
Blind Mike. I'll find out his last name. If anybody knows it, let me know.
How is the lawsuit going to persist? Because I saw him tweet out. He's like, Kate Meany, Shuley, Michael Geary. We'll get to that in a second. But then he goes, Cardiff Electric. Which, is that just written in a legal document somewhere? If you can Your Honor, if you can find me Cardiff Electric. He's at large.
He's a 6-foot potato. Find it for me.
They will all be listed in the lawsuit, and every single name will go to the authorities.
Wow. The authorities have my name now. Oh, no.
The place that starts with an F has a list of names now.
What are we doing with this, John?
Could you imagine if the FBI knocked on my door?
Oh, please record that. Have a camera right by the door just in case.
John, what do you think is going to happen? Like, I don't get. Now, let me ask you this. I want a lawyer on. If anyone knows a good attorney, I would like to ask them these questions. Could John file this lawsuit with my name on it? Because I said on the show, I didn't like that Kate Meany recorded him. According to New York state law, it's not illegal, apparently, what she did if she was in New York. But I don't like it. I didn't like that she did that. But it became a thing that John kept talking about. So I played it on my show. Again, I didn't receive it in any illegal manner. I found it on Twitter. So Elon Musk is going to have to go down before I do. But I would like to ask a lawyer, what would I be going to prison for? Because it's not illegally recording someone. So what did I do that warrants my name being in this lawsuit? Even Shuley, you could say, obtained a phone call that he knew was recorded illegally, again, which it wasn't. But if you want to say that, Shuley's putting that out there. What did I do that would be deemed illegal?
Conspiracy. It's a conspiracy against me. They're all against me.
I didn't work with any of these people to get the audio.
No, they do shows together. I have a clip. I have a timestamp.
Oh, all right. Well,
yeah, you're on the show with Carl. Guilty. That's why Vinny Paulina's going down. That's why Carter. They're all going down. You attach to Carl, you're going down.
Their star witness is someone who listens to Who Are These Socials? These men have the finest banter you've ever seen on the internet. Of course they conspired.
They talk in front of everyone. All right, this one's called Lies.
Okay.
These guys are hypocrites. They lie to you all the fucking time.
About what, John?
And they don't.
But we tell you. Okay, Blind Mike. You literally went, all right, everyone, I'm going to tell this lie. Everyone, right, press record. And then you told the lie. Why does he not record the rewind the tape 10 seconds, John? 10 seconds.
I said now I've said it on 5 different shows. I've said I was lying about John selling his house. How the fuck would I know if John was selling his house? But the thing, I think John purposely doesn't find that audio because he wants to be the victim. He wants to be someone that everyone's attacking. So he needs me to have lied about him selling his Florida home when I've said over and over again, John, I don't know your finances. How would I? I don't have access to that information. How would I know you're selling your house? I have no fucking idea.
Just the idiocy here, because he could actually rewind the tape. Like a better argument, and it's still wrong, but a better argument could be rewind the tape 10 seconds and then go,
see, he's lying about me on there. That's slander. He's lying about. He says it's a lie. It's a slander.
Like he looks at the part that could help him and goes, no, and then looks at the part that makes him look like a victim and goes, that's it. That's a ticket. I'm gonna take that one. And so that's performative right there.
It's like if John took a movie and was like, here's Tom Hanks lying. He's never had braces on his legs. He is not a ping pong champion.
He is not queer and does not have AIDS.
He never served in the military. What he is a liar.
He's a liar.
They don't care about doing it. They don't. they'll befriend Satan if it can make them money.
Really? That's akin to what I'm doing? Dancing with the devil?
I talk about the N-words on a phone call, and you discuss that makes you Satan. Yep.
Well, maybe he saw Hack Ride on the show.
I don't know.
Maybe he was like, literally, this guy has befriended Satan.
Well, John, good news for you. They have he's no longer allowed on the show, so
Yeah,
they're
John,
no longer befriended Satan.
I have separated myself from the demon. He and I don't work together anymore. I mean, we have a business relationship.
He's
We have a
still
business
editing
relationship, but
God damn.
They'll lie. Like, I'm selling my house. No, I'm not.
we know, John. I know you're not selling your, or maybe you are someday, but I don't give a fuck. Who cares?
The question, Blind Mike, is did you come with this week's lie? I can't wait to hear what this week's lie is. Prepare for it. We'll record it. We'll send it to him.
We'll have something, absolutely.
I heard he was trading in his cat for food. What do you think?
This is the great one. The great one is, we might have the clip later, but like, he's like, oh, now Blind Mike is saying I sold my Harley. I just never said that.
No, you did. I heard it. And the sidecar. You're selling the Harley and the sidecar.
But yeah, John, I don't know. Well, also, so let's encapsulate it in the perspective that John has. Let's say I really did say, hey, John's selling his house. So what? Then, if he never sells it, I look like an idiot. But also, if he sold it, people sell their homes every day. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Who gives a fuck?
You really did identify the sensitivity to anything that makes him look like an L. Like, oh, I sold my house. That's an L. Oh, I can't have that. I got to defend that. He's so sensitive. Yeah. That's why I'm saying do this every week, please. Please.
I didn't say John was selling his house at a loss. I didn't say it was being foreclosed on. I said a man is selling real estate. I admitted I was lying about it. And then I said he's selling real estate. And John has been on a tirade about it for a week.
How dare you say I'm going to sell something for market value? Go to that F place.
Yeah, so he's very upset about this house thing.
It's like that they continue. Like, Blind Mike, you're going to owe me $1,000.
John, why, John? John, we've never met each other. We've never spoken.
That was so Wendy right there. We love Wendy the Wonderful over there, but sometimes she comes on panels and she's like, can I have $194.33? It's like, God damn, that's specific. John, this is so specific.
You're going to owe me $1,000. John, I wrote in your chat, you said, I bet you $100 I'm not selling my house. I said, make it 1,000. I felt like that was so clearly fucking with you, but I don't owe you $1,000, John. We've never spoken. I'm like a commenter on YouTube.
You're gonna go to prison forever, and you're gonna owe me $1,000.
They don't make sense in the same fucking thought, in the same head.
This would be like if I said something today and just Box Eating Dad is in the chat like, Mike, I bet you $1 million. And I'm like, Box Eating Dad, you don't understand. I'm going to take legal recourse to obtain that $1 million from you. You owe me now. Don't you understand?
We're going to get that box. Box Eating Dad. We're going to take it from you. You're just going to be eating dad.
Are you going to pay up? Probably not.
I'm glad he came to that. I'm glad he came to grips with it.
Some reality in there.
No, John, what am I going to send you $1,000 for? Not selling your house?
Oh, the precedent you would set if you sent $1,000. So many people would be mad at you. Oh, like, don't send him $1,000.
All right, John. You know what? I'm nothing if not a man of my word.
And, oh, by the way, here's that other 100. I'm going to just count the first 100. We'll just give you 1,100, John. Are we square? John, are we square?
No, F. I'm still calling the Fs.
John, someone in your chat said, I heard you're selling your house. So I said, don't worry, guys. I've confirmed it. How would I have confirmed it in that time frame? It was 30 seconds after the first guy said it.
I love that he also went online to like the Redfin or one of these realtor sites to prove it. You own the house.
He showed his address. But John, why are you doing this?
Oh, you made him dox. That's so funny, man. You made him dox himself.
I seriously fucking doubt it.
Now we're coming to the Harley.
Yeah, so this is this one I never said. This is how easy it is to get John worked up. It's crazy.
Blind Mike said you're listing your Harley on eBay Motors at the end of the holiday weekend. Blind Mike is a fucking liar. He's not telling.
John, stop and ask yourself. I know you're going to do it at the end of the holiday weekend. Who would I have to talk to obtain that information? Why would you, if you're listing it on eBay, why would you have a date in mind that you're going to do it? Like, how would I know these things? Of course they're lies.
But you got to give it up to MAGA Ray DeVito here because he is so many specifics in there, like eBay Motors at the end of the holiday weekend. So John is so easily caught when you give him just a few facts that might confirm it for him.
It is an art though. Shout out to MAGA Ray DeVito because it is somewhat difficult. Like if you go too crazy in one direction or not crazy enough in the other, John won't believe it. It does have to be a specific thing that he hinges his ego on.
Yes,
and being a homeowner and having a cool hog are two of those things. So it's very important. Like MAGA Ray DeVito knows how to get to John.
Right. That's threaded needle right there. That is between the legs pass.
I'm telling you the truth. I am not selling my house. I am not selling my Harley. These are lies.
I know.
I heard he was getting Botox. Can we start that one, Mike? Can we start that one?
No, we'll have something. We'll have something by the end of this, John.
Yeah, no, you're the master. You're the master. I'm sorry. I'll give it up to you. That was not a sound effect.
What a professional broadcaster.
And throwing the fucking bottles at his mom.
Yeah, John, that's good. Just throw your garbage all over your mother's house.
87-year-old woman bending over to pick that shit up. God damn you.
After the doctor's appointment was at 9:15 in Syosset, where my ex-wife grew up, went to high school with Judd Apatow.
John. Listen, the internet is a bad place. There's some bad dudes out there. I'm not one of these people that wants your information to be given out. But people like that exist in all pockets of the internet. Stop giving out so much fucking information about your family. Stop giving out your address, your wife's maiden name, and where she went to school. Stop saying all these things. And it gives people less to fuck with you on.
She lives by that park on the left side of that park. You'll see her walking her dog at 2 p.m. And I'm just saying.
John is mad that the internet fucks with him, and then he hands them a platter. Like, do something with this piece of information.
Yeah, and, you got to be not thrilled if you're the ex-wife here in this. Jesus.
No, yes. John, stop doing that. Stop giving out information on your mother, your wife, your kids. Don't, your kid specifically asked you. I shouldn't even know this part. Your kid asked you not to mention where he's going to school. And you have said Harvard over and over again. I shouldn't know that. And I shouldn't be saying it on my show. But you've said it enough that it's just public information now. Yeah, so, John, all these problems they're caused by you.
That was an easy ethical solution for John to solve. Do I not tell the school that my son went to, or do I tell it because I'm going to take full credit for it? God damn, this one's hard.
I'm the reason. Me not being in his life led to him going to Harvard.
Yeah, honestly, great job for stepping in. A big applause to the stepdads who come in there and take over and do better than the dads.
Shout out.
Shout out to the dads.
Natalie Portman. I mean, she was younger. But I went to Syosset, went to the doctor, got recognized.
Oh, wow.
Then went to the drugstore, picked up my Klonopin and Amlodipine. Then I came home. My wonderful mother made me 2 eggs over easy, 4 pieces of bacon.
What is this?
1 piece of toast.
What's happening?
Gotta watch.
He's getting food. I don't know.
Just going through his day.
Yeah. Being served by a 90-year-old woman. God damn you, John.
Eggs, Ma.
These women can fall at any time and then break their hips and it's over for them. And he's like,
Ma, get that can on the floor and make some eggs for me.
I mean, there's some despicable people. A lot of people have seen it, but there's some despicable John and his mother footage that we'll get to later.
Yeah, that didn't make me happy watching that.
Watch those fucking carbs. Got to watch that white flour. And then went upstairs.
Then he went upstairs.
What a day.
Took my binky and had a nap till Mom woke me up for dinner.
How is that? That's what John does, by the way. What we just saw is what John would do if we all stopped talking about him. If he didn't have these shows to rail against, he'd be like, I had bacon and eggs this morning. I took a nap. I did a workout that I'm lying about. I went to Kevin Brennan's house. He wasn't there.
I called my PI about the shitware.
This one's called Discord.
Oh. So you guys are all part of my racist Discord that I have.
Hey-o.
You know how I promote that all the time?
Gregors.
Well, you guys are finally getting your comeuppance.
Ray be capping. They are posting your ex-wife and kids' personal info in the Blind Mike Discord. I tried to
Oh, the ex-wife that you just told us where she lives. Thanks.
stop. They called me slurs and blocked me. Yeah, well, now they got to go after children. It's just
Like it just
amazing.
happened in John. I can't even use Discord. I can't see it. It moves too quickly for me. I don't have a Discord. If someone started one, it has nothing to do with me. It has no connection to the show. Now there probably will be one, by the way. John, you've now inspired a Discord that probably will use salty language. But there is no Discord, John. People are fucking with you constantly. Stop believing it. I'm trying to help you here, John. Stop believing your chat. When you say constantly, oh, you're going to pay me, hey, I don't care, you pay me $5 to insult me. Maybe those people are up to no good and trying to get you to believe things that aren't happening. I'll say
You
again.
guys are
I'll say again. I, Mike Geary, and this is not a lie or a joke, I don't want anyone to go after John's family. I think that's really shitty. I even think recording him, whether it's legal or not, I think that's pretty shitty. So I don't want anything bad to happen to John. I like goofing on his show. Has it gotten exhausting the last few weeks? Because now I'm involved in this, I'm going to have to pay for all these lawyer fees and stuff like that. That can be a little exhausting. But I don't want anything bad to happen to John. And I will say there's times that make me side with John even more. There are people, we'll get to my sister in a little bit.
Oh, no.
But I tweeted out earlier in the week that John claims he's going to go after my sister. And listen, come after me all you want. I didn't want my last name out there, but hey, it is, I guess. But please don't go after my sister. And this was gave me a gross feeling and made me want to remove myself from all this when people were like, hey man, you're involved in this. That's what you get. Oh, no. Let me make something very clear. If I had a sister, she would not be open season to harass. I don't think anyone's family members should be harassed because their idiot relative does a podcast. No one in my life chose that I do podcasts. It's not, you can rationalize it in your mind if it makes you feel better, but it's not suddenly morally right that you go after them. And I would say even with John going after other people's family members, John has talked a lot about Shuli's wife and kids and Carl's wife and all these people, Rocco's mother. I still don't think that warrants now going after John's kids because none of those people deserve that. They don't want John involved in this shit, as far as I know. So I don't think when someone does something, now you're allowed to do it to them all of a sudden. I actually don't think that's right, John. So stop using that as an excuse because I'm saying publicly, you should not be doing that to John, and John shouldn't be doing it to anyone else. So stop letting yourself think that allows you to go after people's family. It doesn't. It makes you a scumbag, which you are, and everyone thinks that now.
No, it's an eye for an eye, blind man.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everything you said will just fall directly on deaf ears.
I know. I tried.
But you did try. Don't see. You could clip that, and he'll watch it 100 times, and never mention it, and he'll just wait for you to sell.
He's lying.
You're selling a lamp.
I'm not selling a lamp.
The fucking losers. I mean, it's really sick. At some point, I might have to do something real serious. Seriously.
What is that? As opposed to a lawsuit? What's?
Just psych about that. Psych about the prison and the lawyer. Psych. Someday I'm gonna do something real serious.
Hey, John, please file a lawsuit against my Discord and try to take them down. Go for it, please. I don't give a fuck about Discord. I've never used it. So go after them all you want. Take the company down for all I care.
It's just we're in reruns, and we're to the Blind Mike season. Remember in the Carl season when he went after the Discord? Now we're just in the Blind Mike season.
People are watching this like, oh, they're doing this storyline. They didn't even try to make it different this time.
Riker's trying to fuck the scientist's wife again. God damn it. That's a Star Trek joke. It's a good one. This one's called Fraud. Fraud, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Mom, thanks for the $5. I have
Hold on. Just go back a little bit. I want to give Milk John's mom his proper due. But shout out to Milk John's mom, who has done a great job. He's on the front lines of the Blind Mike army here. He has some great super chats that get John to react to things I have said.
And another threaded needle. Milk John's mom.
Yeah.
Just enough to piss him off, but not enough to... It's perfect.
Very well done. Yeah.
Milk John's mom, thanks for the $5. I have it on good authority. Blind Mike is not really blind. He's just playing the characters for his show. Fraud. Yeah, he is a fraud.
Based on what, John? I'm now not blind because someone in the chat said it?
He read it. It makes it true. That's so funny.
What a ruse I've been playing. Oh, I've worked up this character so that people could make fun of me on the internet, John. I'm not like you, who, by the way, doesn't stutter anymore.
Yes. Or maybe never really did.
If one of our conditions is fake, John, I actually can't see anything. I haven't heard you stutter in many years.
No, we all know strokes fix stuttering. This is this is science. I've asked every doctor I ever know that. And they're like, get out of here, crazy person. So no, that is not science. Here we go. Ableism. I always get that one wrong. Ableism.
Okay, good. Because he was bordering on it right there. But.
Yes. Yeah.
MAGA Ray DeVito. Blind Mike said you're selling your Harley to fund your attorneys for the lawsuits. Blind Mike has a lot to say. Man, for a guy that can't see, I guess all he can do is talk.
Hey-o.
Very nice. So you see, he's much like we heard with the Quad Father. He is waiting for me to do something so he can attack my disability.
I can't wait until he does something.
That's what's crazy about all this. Which, by the way, like John, you can make fun of me for being blind if you want. It's perfectly fine. People have done it before. It's not a big deal.
Do it all the time.
John thinks he can't because he's a good liberal and he's the good guy in this war. But if I cross a certain line, then he'll be able to attack my disability. Like, enjoy your dark prison. Like, to paraphrase what he said to the Quad Father. So he's just waiting to attack as low as possible. And that's the thing I say when I'm like, when people are like, hey, if he goes after your sister, that's fair game. No, it isn't. I've never done anything like that. And even if I should, hold yourself to a higher standard. If you think it's so wrong, John, to go after family, then don't do it yourself.
This one's called My Source.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have a lot of deep sources here.
Drew P. Bowles. Blind Mike's real estate source who knows you're selling on the 17th is Dave Cullinane, a real estate
No, that's great. Great. Listen, Dave Cullinane has been tied up in the Karen Reed trial. He does have many tentacles in the real estate world. But I can assure you, Dave Cullinane is not feeding me this information. That's ridiculous. He has a great real estate mind. That's a natural thought. But I just want to say Drew P. Balls is off on this one. He's rarely off, but
I don't know this Dave Cullinane guy, but he sounds like a TikToker. I don't know.
It's funny you say that, yeah.
Well, Dave Cullinane is not so good at real estate because I'm not selling.
Oh, you got yourself a sample, Dave Cullinane. Congratulations.
We might have to send that clip to Coleman or Justin. Dave,
Got a ringtone. I ain't selling.
Dave Cullinane is not so good at real estate. Even Stuttering John doesn't like those infomercials.
If he's smart, he's starting those infomercials with that.
Well, John, I assure you, Dave Cullinane is not my source. I have many other sources telling me about you selling your home. But hey, John, you're going to have a big victory on July 17th when you're definitely back doing your show. And you could say, I didn't sell my house, Blind Mike. And I will be shattered when you don't sell your house. I don't know how I'm going to pick up the pieces after that.
When he's showing an iguana on his front porch from Coral Gables, Florida, Blind Mike, you will be eating your own hat.
God. People dunking on me.
At least not now.
All right.
It was a weird thing to throw in at the end there. Like, at least not now.
It's coming.
Well, John, all I said is that you're selling it. Now, I eventually added the July 17th lie, but...
At least not now. He did leave himself a total opening there to... I did say I may sell. It's the 21st, not the 17th. Wouldn't it be amazing
He was
if
wrong.
he fucking sold his house, if he actually sold the house? Oh, my God.
That'd be great if he sold it on the 18th. He just waited a day, so I wasn't right.
He's a liar, I told you. And he's in a dark cage forever.
This one's called My Tweet, which I believe is your tweet.
Oh, yeah. So this is in reference to... I just mentioned I tweeted about my sister earlier, so he's going to get into that here.
I love this. This is from Ma 926. These dorks can't handle any pushback. No one cares who your sister is, you absolute crybaby. You absolute crybaby.
Cryberry.
Blind Mike, I've heard rumors that Stuttering John plans on giving out my real name and the name of my sister. Come after me all you want, but dragging her into this would be over the line. I've never said that. Ever. Never said that. Another lie by Blind Mike. Blind Mike is just lying, Mike.
Okay, well, lying Mike has cooked up another one for you, John. Now,
I like lying Mike.
Now, everyone, just be aware. I don't have a sister.
No, damn it, you gave it away.
Guys, I don't have a sister. I've never had a sister. I've talked about my brothers on the Kirk Minahan show before. I've never mentioned a sister because she doesn't exist. So, what I'm about to say in a minute is a lie. I'm telling a lie that involves my sister here. Now I want to go on record again and say if I did have a sister, she wouldn't deserve to be harassed because I brought her into it. That's my fault.
Even fake sisters deserve respect, John.
Yes, yeah. No one should go after anyone's kids or siblings or parents or anyone. So I'm going to pause and say something that again isn't true. And you guys can get it to John if you like, and he can address it on his own time. So I've been telling you guys that John, I knew this would happen, that he's going to go after my family. He gave out my real last name, which I didn't want out there, but I guess you guys have it now, so I have a field day with that. He doxed me. Then he involved my sister, and he can say that he didn't all he wants, but I've seen him correspond with people in his chat and get information about my sister Rachel, and he put her name out there, and she's been dealing with a lot lately that I don't think she needs to be dragged into this. And for John to do that, I find, frankly, disgusting. It's disgusting that John is dragging people. After railing against using people's family members so often, now he's bringing my sister into this, who, we don't have a great relationship, but she doesn't deserve any of this blowback. So, John, I mean, I really think you've gone too far, and I might have to take legal action on you now after doxing my sister. Again, that was a lie. I don't have a sister. I don't have beef with her.
It's so hard to stay quiet.
John hasn't gone after anyone in my family. So, John, please still don't. I know you won't hear this part.
He's like, no, he said it was okay.
But you guys are welcome to say that John has gone after my family if you want. It's not, as long as you know it's not true. Don't actually do anything crazy. John has done nothing to my family. My family's fine. I don't have a sister. She doesn't exist. But again, I'm showing how reactive John is, where you can tell this guy anything and show him a clip of anything and he's going to believe it. I would suggest, John, if you're going to take a guy to court, listen, I know that a 3-hour show of my horse shit can be a lot to sit through. but we put the individual segments on YouTube on their own. So go back, watch the Stuttering John segment that you're suing me over, and maybe take a few pieces from that and realize, oh, he didn't say I was selling my Florida house.
Yes, and
he was fucking around.
To all the Clippers out there, that happened at 49 minutes exactly. So 49 minutes roughly in that area. Get the clip, send it over to John, and leave his sister alone, John.
Yeah, leave my sister alone. This is, of course, if John actually, can we get an update on John's Twitter? Sure. Maybe while we play the next clip. See if he's been tweeting again, because he was active this morning.
Sure. Let me see. I think we have 6 seconds left of this. Let's just play what's...
Seems to lie an awful lot.
Okay, that was worth it. You do seem to lie an awful lot. All right, let's go check his Twitter real quick, see if there's anything. Then we'll go do some super chats. It looks like DJ Electra was having some issues with her computer, so I will be...
Oh, boy.
I am looking at... Oh, no. There's Phil McCooch just put out a new tweet, Blind Mike.
Oh, God.
Stuttering John, Blind Mike. Blind Mike's sister, Rachel, just checked herself into McLean Hospital because you doxed her in your stream. God damn.
Phil McCooch.
Phil. And then I'm checking John's here. So that's 22 seconds ago. And, all right. So here is John from 1 hour ago. That's the latest. It says, Dabble versus Logic. I'm just going to read it as opposed to putting it.
Sure.
Repeatedly call my mother a dumb cunt. Disparage my sister.
Oh, I want to take these on one by one.
Repeatedly calling my mother a dumb C word.
So I've never done that. I've never heard Carl do. I don't listen to Shuli enough. I won't speak to that. I've never heard Carl or Cardiff do it. Again, I won't speak to Tukey. He's a wild card. Who knows what he says? But my point is, you can cherry pick individuals that have done this. But has everyone done it? Because you're lumping everyone together, and you're saying, because I'm part of this lawsuit, you're saying that I do these things. Essentially, that tweet is accusing me of doing these things, which I simply don't, John.
It says, disparage my sister, calling her an ugly Danny DeVito looking.
No, you did that to me. You did that to my sister.
And then I show a picture of a guy's beautiful wife, and I'm the bad guy.
Okay, so I'll address. So John has repeatedly shown pictures of Carl and Shuli's wives and called them ugly behemoths and decrepit old ladies.
they have wives. No one will touch him. His hemorrhoid. They have people who love them. It's so funny.
And John shows pictures of these people and talks about what hideous beasts they are. And he's like, and all I did is show a picture of their beautiful wife. Why are you guys all up in arms about me?
Yeah, that's insane. And so he had one more tweet under that, which I find hilarious. It says, getting in touch with Google is virtually impossible.
I heard Cardiff point this out this morning. Maybe, and Google is a big, customer service these days, guys. Don't get me started. But I would suggest maybe Sunday on the 4th of July weekend isn't the best time to get in touch with any company, most likely.
No. So, Blind Mike, we got some super chats backing up here. So,
all right, let's catch up.
Yeah, we're gonna catch up here. We got Droopy Balls for $9.99.
Oh, another soldier.
I've been so looking forward to this show. Do you hear that, Mike Geary? Geary, a.k.a. Blind Mike.
Oh, come on. Quit doxing me, guys.
All right, we got $4.99 from Patrick Ford. You're doing God's work, Mike. Add this super chat to the legal fund.
Patrick Ford had a bizarre interaction. Patrick Ford super chatted John. Maybe I misheard it, but out of nowhere, John goes, "Oh, this is the club owner that canceled my gigs."
What?
Yeah. Patrick Ford is a practice squad basketball player. He is nothing more, nothing less. I don't understand who John thought he was, but he gave this apology to Patrick Ford, and I was like, what's happening?
All right, next we got Brian Kowalczyk. Gifted 5 Blind Mike membership.
Oh, thank you.
Are those memberships for us?
Yeah.
Yay!
Well, they're for you, but
thank you, Boney.
Yes, Boney. And so we got 5 people got those, and then congratulations to the 5 that got those. I won't read those now, but and then we got Ryan. Oh God, if I pronounce this wrong, I'm sorry. Ryan Key.
Sure.
Mike for $4.99. Mike, you were great on Tukey Soup, even though you can't read a room. Hey-o.
Well, come on.
Yes. Also, you were great on Point Dabble Point. I watched that.
Thank you, buddy. Yes.
Yeah, getting out everywhere. Hugh Essay with $1.99. How you find a guest lifelike Oh, God, I'm so bad. How do you find a guest less lifelike than Tukey? Is that me? God damn it.
I don't care for that. I think Casey Day's a fine addition to the program.
Shrapnel. It's never fun when you take the shrapnel when you're reading it. I don't like that.
Hey, you want to sue people, don't you?
I'm with Stuttering John.
Get your team of lawyers right,
Wait a
Key.
second here.
Or USA. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I need a team of lawyers I falsely named Ryan Key.
All right, here we go. Douche of the Dabbleverse for $2 for Mike's lawyer. That's right, folks. We're doing the legal fund today.
Oh,
so
yeah,
get it up.
please. I'm going to need a lawyer. Again, guys, don't donate because you think I actually need a lawyer. I'll be fine.
We need a team of lawyers for him and Rachel. Both of them.
Right, yeah, Rachel, donate to Rachel's legal defense fund. She actually might be in trouble.
Which is here. Give it to us.
Checked into McLean.
Carol. It's Karol. Is that Carol or Carl?
Sure.
Carol Dillon, $5 euro. Mike, my friend, John's tape with Kate were depressing. Do all us men sound this pathetic when trying to chat up a woman? Grim. We'll be back by Wednesday.
Well, here's the thing, is like, if John was honest, and I've said this many times before, but the most likable John has ever been is when he first came back. I think he was on Kevin Brennan's show, and they asked him about the Uber driver thing. He's like, you swore you didn't drive for Uber, and you were saying people were liars because they said you worked for Uber. You accused all these people of lying. Why did you do that? And John goes, because I was embarrassed. And I was like, oh, now that's a guy I can relate to. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah,
if he said like, hey, these guys are playing my fucking phone calls with Kate Meany, and like, are they embarrassing? Sure. But like, I didn't think I was being recorded. I thought I was talking to a friend of mine. If he was on it, like, hey, did I think I had a shot with her? Maybe, perhaps that was delusional, whatever. If he had an honest conversation about that, I would be totally on John's side and against all of these guys. I would say, hey, it's pretty shitty that you guys are playing this audio that Kate Meany recorded, even if it is legal that she recorded it. But John has made me go on the defensive against him because he's saying, I'm going to sue anyone that plays this and they'll go to jail. Even though he keeps talking about the recordings, he has made the recordings news, which is why I said, like, well, I kind of have to play it now. Like, you know, like, you're talking about it, John, so much. You're someone that I cover, and you like being covered. You say you're the Duke of the Dabbleverse and the only interesting one that we have to talk about. So you've made this something that's quote unquote news or interesting in our world. And then you're mad that we talked about it. That I don't get. It's very bizarre. John, just be honest. And this will again not get heard. He'll hear the Rachel thing, but he won't hear me just saying, John, the most likable you've ever been is when you've admitted your faults.
This is the trap, though, Blind Mike, because he shined. You saw like a person there for 1 second, like a year ago, and you're still hanging on to that moment like it could exist again.
I know.
And it will never come back. It was a flash. I don't know what it was.
It was an accident. He let honesty slip out for a second.
He's like, I don't like how that feels. Never coming out again. Magaray DeVito. Hey, Magaray DeVito. $4.99. The Duke said you're selling your home to buy a mammoth ivory-plated cane for the blind.
Okay, well, we've had a lot of fun today, but that's over the line. And Magaray DeVito, I want you to tell John that is ridiculous. John, have fun paying me $1,000.
Ivory-plated cane. Why plated for that? I mean, you should at least get a full cane, not plated. Jesus Christ. All right.
Well, these are questions I don't care. I'm just going to react.
We got a potato sighting. $2.79 from the potato. Cardiff Electric. Thanks for all the real estate documents, Mike. Geary.
Hey, shut up about those.
You got it from Dave Cullinane. He had to pass them right on to you.
Well, when Dave Cullinane reports something, you do have to rush. That's a solid source.
I don't know this guy, but he sounds like a guy that makes solid business decisions.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
$5 from Dang Lizard. SJ's latest tweet explains that you are wrong, Mike. It's clear if I do a yo mama joke, posting my mother's home address is an appropriate response. Your mom's so fat she lays around the house. Your mom lives at 252 Ego Street. It is a
well,
weird...
an eye for an eye.
Can you imagine if they did that back in the day, like Def Comedy Jam? People would just leave that place.
Yeah, well, that's what you get in Blood for Blood. I did call your mom fat, so I guess you should tell everyone where she lives and what the passcode is to enter her home.
God damn, you called his mom fat? God damn. Dragged down into this. Sure.
We'll let the lawyers prove it.
All right. Last one here. Beavis Lee Ray, a great name, $5. You lied, Mike. John isn't selling the house. He can't sell a house he doesn't own. His mother is selling her house. Hey,
Which he says at one point. He goes, it wouldn't even be me that sold it. She'd have to sell it. I'm like,
Because I'm hiding my money from my ex. Oh, did I say too much?
You got me, John. I thought you owned property.
Nope, no, he doesn't.
There's taxes associated. Mom pays taxes. I don't pay taxes.
All right, you want to get on to July 3rd?
Yeah,
A couple clips. All right. First one here is called I'm fucked. Here, let me bring this up.
Oh, I've made the list of people that are fucked. It's a long list. But John, like he warns it. When you're fucked, John will warn you. And I am among the fucked now.
Spoke to the fucking FBI today.
No, he said it.
Lady K. We have the statuette. They know
Statuette.
it.
He's got a Lady K bust in his home.
It looks like an Oscar, but with a beard and a guitar.
I know.
This is a little Lady K made of marble.
Kate, you're going to get fucking arrested. And I'm telling you.
Arrested? I thought this was a civil suit.
It careens back and forth. Pay attention, Mike.
You're not far behind, and neither are you, Lady K. You all know these are illegal tapes.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
It's on Twitter, John.
The FBI called me.
By the way, why haven't Twitter and YouTube taken any of these shows down? It seems awfully irresponsible of them.
Yeah, must be anti-American.
They're under FBI investigation. The tape should be sent to the proper authorities and removed from the internet.
I think it's just one guy in the FBI field office is like, I can talk to Stuttering John. Hey, let me give this idiot a call.
I was a Stern fan, yeah. What the hell?
The tapes. I told them about Mike Geary.
Oh, no.
A.K.A. Blind Mike.
John, please, have some decorum.
Hey, maybe he's getting you some fans over there. We'll go watch this guy. Our viewership's up. Thanks for all
listen to what he said, and listen to how this guy just believes anything he's told. He's about to say, I didn't think he knew my last name. John, I didn't know if you knew my last name. But it's said every week on Who Are These Socials? Very often. I don't know how often Kirk says my last name, but pretty often. He's addressed me as Mike Geary or Blind Mike Geary. It's in my Instagram handle, John. My patrons are called Gearheads.
There's gear spinning by his head right now, John.
Who did you think I was hiding this from? Mike Geary.
Gotcha.
And Mike. I do!
Oh, God.
I know your name too, Carter. You will all be sued and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
If he knew Cardiff's name, he wouldn't be calling him Cardiff.
Right, he would have said it already. He says Rocco Burrow and Carl Heberger, Heberger.
That's gonna be his one of his biggest victories when he gets that name. So he is going to let all of us know when he really gets that name.
Why does John do the thing where he spells the last name? He goes Michael Geary, Geary. Because I know how to spell it. I'm not a smart man, but I know how to spell my last name. Who is that for? Could it be for potential people to harass me and my family?
Oh, yeah, so they can spell it right. Yeah. No, make sure you get the spelling right. Or maybe his cats react to your last name, and he has to spell it out. Like it's, we're going to the PARK for WALK.
But John, you can say my last name. But for the love of God, don't spell it. That's one too many breadcrumbs for these animals.
This one's called Nonsense.
Maybe he's done with the nonsense here.
No, we're done. We're all done. Back to reality, folks.
Rusty beer can. Thanks for the $5. John is selling his Florida house July 17th. Blind Mike owns you and soon your Florida house, huh? You mean Michael Geary?
Oh, God, stop it!
Geary?
No, John, now they know how to spell it.
Well, thank you so much. Now we could there's so many mics on the YouTube now. He's just sending people right to your channel. Thank you.
I didn't even think of my own show. Tom Myers introduces me as Blind Mike Geary on this very show.
He does. You, Stuttering John, you as an AI voice just introduced him as Blind Mike Geary at the beginning of this show.
My favorite is though that he so I go by Blind Mike, as you guys. I've tried to hide my last name, but John has exposed me as Michael Geary, as if people are out there like if he just said Mike Geary, people would be like, yeah, but what's his full first name? How would we know that?
It's your church name.
He doesn't own shit.
Thank God.
True? Is that true? Do you not?
Thank God I don't. John would have taken it from me.
You don't know. He sold his house and he knows you don't own anything. How do you guys know so much about each other?
Well, John owns shit. That's for sure. The content on his YouTube page, he owns.
And physical shit on his floor most of it.
And I'm not selling my house, you dumb fuck.
No, I know. I know you're not. I've said over and over again that you're not selling it. I'm well aware, John.
Yeah, this is not what Dave Cullinane is telling us.
Gotta be a fucking moron to believe that nonsense.
Yeah, you would, and no one does. Everyone in your chat knows that I'm joking.
He's the only one that can't smell the fart. Yeah.
Fucking. How big of a loser are you to believe such nonsense?
Pretty big, John. You're the only one believing it.
Only a total fool would believe this.
We all know it's a joke.
Really
It is a self-diagnosis, kind of.
have to be 100% idiot.
Yep.
Yes, you would.
You
have
sure
to be
would.
100%. All right. That's amazing audio right there. Family rumors is the next one.
Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Like John's gonna say, I never said anything about his sister. He's so excited. Like when people. So originally, someone in his chat. Oh, it was Milk John's mom, and I should have grabbed this drop, and I didn't. But Milk John's mom said I have a lot of information about Blind Mike and his sister. And John goes, please get me that Milk John's mom, please. She's just saying, please, Milk John's mom over and over again. But he's so thirsty for people's private information. He wants to get that out there so much. He's the only one that is, again, excluding random people on the internet. Like someone tagged me in some video of them doing something to John that I didn't love. And they tagged me in it. I didn't retweet it or anything because I thought I'm not interested in being in that world. You can't control everyone on the internet, John. But I didn't promote it. I didn't say it was good. I'm not even saying what it is now because I don't want people to do that shit to you. You're the only one who wants it. You're going to people's homes. You went to Patrick Melton's house and Kevin Brennan's house. You talked about Kevin Brennan's wife the other day and what she does for a living and where she works. You're the only one doing this other than idiots on the internet. You were part of that group, John. The group you hate so much.
I mean, it makes sense. He was the original troll, right? Like screener for Howard Stern. That's where original trolling starts. So I think we forget his origin story. He is the lead troll. Family rumors.
Milk John's mom, thanks to the fiber. If it makes you feel better, Blind Mike's sister and parents don't speak to him. Well, yeah, I heard. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. Compound media.
Oh no, your parents don't.
I've been hearing about that.
Yeah, I got a little picture there of a little blind Mike getting told to shut up by his mom there.
Listen, the rumors that I have heard are that my mom talks to me too much. If you listen to the Kirk Minahan program, me and my mom are too close. Some would say, but
that's awesome.
It is true. Me and my sister Rachel have never spoken. Actually, we've been estranged for many years.
Estranged since birth.
Yeah.
All right, so that was the July 3rd, and now we're coming up to the one that really chaps my hide, the mom thing. I guess maybe though before the mom thing, can I share the video that I told you about?
Please,
at the beginning? Yes. So we have a buddy. His name is Psych. He's one of these clippers, and he's a Psych Labs. But he put Trump's face on Stuttering John. That's not really what this clip is. It's funny, but listen to what Listen, this is a part. Listen to what he says right here. I'd not heard this, and this is exciting for me. So here it is. And yes, that is Donald Trump's face on Stuttering John. But listen to what he says.
All of the cowardly bullies. Let's list them, shall we? Shitware, Lady K, Barbara, Silent Mike, Log Cabin Larry, Phildo, Fake Don Jameson, Cardiff, Rocco Burrow, Obnoxious John, Pocky, Joey C.
Here it comes.
Blind Mike.
Yeah.
And the two guys on his show.
Yeah.
What the hell?
That's us. Well, hold on. He might just be talking about Craig. That's one man. Not two.
How would he know? It would be amazing if John didn't know I was joking about the Florida house and yet knew the difference between Craig and Hackride.
He knew there was two of us. He knew there was two. It's amazing.
It'd be great if John was like, Blind Mike would have a lot of you believe that Hackride and Casey Day are two separate people. He exposes that rumor.
Oh God, that would be fun to fuck with. But no, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on from that.
So you guys better watch out. You could be fucked here too.
I don't need another team of lawyers. Had too many lawyers in my life, so no team of lawyers. All right, so now we're getting to that one where it's just him and his mom.
This is where, after all, you people are going after my family. John is the one that treats his family like shit on camera for an audience. Listen to this. I hope you can hear it. Some of it might be a little hard to hear, but listen to this interaction he has with his mom during his show.
Some point.
Yeah, here, let me get this up. Yeah, the audio where he leaves the screen is kind of hard to hear.
Yeah, just listen closely.
You can hear it. All right, here we go. And
Might just behoove me to step away. So that's what this show is. Adam called this show, maybe it's my Independence Day. Independence from the Dabbleverse. Mom! Be right there.
You bitch!
He gets nothing right. Be right there. What?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mom?
Okay, here we go.
You didn't feel like bringing that up to me, huh?
Didn't feel like it.
Oh, it's just gross.
This is an 87-year-old woman.
Yes.
Feel like bringing that up to me, did you?
Oh, you didn't hear me because you're a geriatric? Let me reiterate it. You didn't feel like serving King Melendez. Ha, you bitch.
Just immediately gaslights her. That's all he knows how to do. So that's him in a personal relationship. Imagine him with his kids. Imagine with the wife. That's him in a interpersonal relationship. Ugh.
And John, here's what you have to understand. You are introducing your mom as a character on your show here. She's been on a bunch of episodes, popped her head in. You've talked about her, all that. People have made jokes about my mom that listen to the Kirk Minahan show. That's my fault. I said her name. I recorded her. That's all my fault. I have to live with that. When people make jokes about my mom, they're not attacking my mom. Now, if they found her in real life, that of course would be over the line. But people making a joke about this, you being a spoiled brat that needs your mommy to hand you your energy drinks during your show. John, here's an idea. Make sure you have all your drinks before you start the show. You know how crazy it would be for me to right now just scream at my girl, "Hey, bitch, where's my drink? My water could use a refill." That would be psychotic, and it would be on me. And people would start making jokes about how Blind Mike treats his girlfriend. Now, that's not an attack on my girlfriend. That's an attack on me. It's amazing that 40 years into fucking broadcasting, John, people have had to teach you this over and over again, and you don't learn. You worked with the king of all media and managed to learn nothing. It's fascinating.
That is a fascinating thing about him.
I'm only live, don't worry.
I'm only live, don't worry. Upwards of 900 people are disappointed in you.
You didn't have to carry the beer, I just need the Red Bull. But don't worry about it.
He's guilting her.
It's shaming her for not giving him his goddamn Red Bull.
I'm just doing a show, don't worry about it.
I'm just doing a show, no big deal.
Just my whole life and everything that I do.
John, it isn't a big deal. That's what you have to learn.
Ugh.
He's scolding her just off camera. And by the way, he said this was a bit, but
No,
he's not in the same room as his fucking computer.
No, he didn't know this would be picked up. There it is. I don't know if you heard it, Blind Mike.
What did he say?
He said, "Trying to make some money," and the way he said it, that's the ball game. This is a lot performative. Like Carl was right. There's so much performative because when he goes, "Listen, I'm just over here acting, trying to make some money," he thinks he is on the Tina and acting thing that he used to do, but then he gets mad and forgets about it. So it is. That's why it's so fascinating, because he just gave up the game.
I'm just over here trying to make some money, acting on YouTubes.
Yeah. So that's my diagnosis of this whole thing, is that I don't know if John believes he has a lawsuit with all of us. I don't know if he actually thinks he has a legal case. I do think he thinks we should all pay some kind of price for what we've done. I don't think he realizes there's varying degrees of everyone's involvement. But like he does think we should be held to some kind of standard and pay some kind of price. And he thinks that eventually, if he yells loud enough, people will rally around him and say, "John, you were wronged by these assholes." And somehow it amazes him that every time he tries this, no one's on his side.
Well,
And it's because he doesn't step back to look at it and think like, well, how am I coming off in these moments?
Well, what he does get is some like random British dude supporting him or something, and so that's enough.
But they're usually fucking with him.
Right, but that he doesn't discern or care. He doesn't need to know if they're fucking with him or not, because they're feeding what he needs to know right now. And so he sort of lives in the moment like that.
John was listing the people that he's like Quadfather and David Gunn and all these people have fucked with me. And yet you're still inviting people in, John? Like, if I found out Craig and Casey Day have been fucking with me the whole time, it would take me a long time to like trust someone in that world again. John does it every other week. It's Clay Dabbler, it's Rob Saul, it's all these people.
It took so long to get you to trust me. Not even sure you still do. But
I keep
John's
an eye
like,
on
yes, no. Here, let's finish this up.
Okay.
Big sigh.
Oh, I had to walk all the way in the other room to get my Red Bull.
I gotta deal with this old bat.
You bitch. Hurry up, Joe. Got a show to do.
I kind of like just the ambiance. This AMSR John kitchen. See him pounding on things.
That is kind of nice to fall asleep to.
Yeah. Just an
You're
angry
grunting every once in a while. You see what I gotta go through, people?
That's a normal human sound.
Righty. Just had to order some energy.
Order. When his mom gets him something, he's placing an order. I'll take 2 Red Bulls and a case of Coors Light, please.
Yeah, that's disgusting behavior from any son to any mother, especially at that age. They're so fragile and brittle. One fall and it's over, and he's like, just tossing around.
That's crazy that he's a 60-year-old man and she's 80. Listen, I'm no saint. I have not always spoken to my mother the way she should be spoken to. I'm sure I've been a little shit plenty of times in my life. I would at least try to hide that for the camera.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, "Hey, bitch, get in here." Now, John is doing that on camera. Imagine what he's like when the cameras are off.
Right. He's got a governor on right now because maybe they can hear me.
Yeah, like John wants us to believe that was all performative. He's probably 10 times worse when he's not recording himself.
Yeah, those, that is why, that family that doesn't speak his name and kicked him out on Father's Day is the way it is, I think. And much better off. Like, they're valedictorians without him. Like,
right. That's all. Like John, I'm sure John will make it now that my Discord talks about his kids or something. Yeah. All I've ever said about his kids is like, they've done a tremendous job without their father.
In spite of.
Yeah. Like, they seem perfectly fine to me. So I don't know. John has a lot of issues to work through, and I guess we'll do that in court. We'll let the lawyers talk it out.
Yes. We've got a few super chats here. DJ Electra, how are you doing, DJ Electra?
Oh, it's about time, DJ Electra.
You there?
No,
No,
it's too good to be true.
You know, she's moving, but she ain't talking.
Oh, hi.
Hey,
So
there she
sorry.
is. No worries. Glad you could finally join us. All right, here we go. We got a few super chats. If you could read this. Oh, it did fool.
Oh, Deadpool 1999.
Hey,
John Dunn effed up now. I've been dating Mike's sister and have a bottomless wallet to defend her honor. My
Good.
lawyer will destroy this. I'm coming for you, John.
Well, listen, I didn't want that information out there that he's been dating my sister, but I'm glad he's at least jumping to her defense.
God
Do you have
damn.
a sister?
Oh, she missed the show.
Shut up, Electra.
All right, go ahead.
Ding Lizard, €2. He spells names because he's in Mensa and Carl Hamburger.
That's right.
Oh, interesting. He wants us to know that he can spell. Maybe that's it.
Yes. Even though we all know that Mensa thing is fake, he even mentioned it on the air. Why do we even talk about the Mensa thing? So, all right. Go ahead, DJ.
From Milk John's mom for $1.99. Love you
He's been
guys.
spreading vicious lies about me.
He says he loves us. So thank you, Milk John's mom. Thank you,
I don't
Deadpool.
know. I question your loyalty, Milk John's mom. Been spreading nasty rumors.
Oh, please change your name to Milk Blind Mike's sister. Thank you.
No! No!
Yes. We need some Milk and Rachel's up in here just so he thinks it's real. All right, Blind Mike. Thank you, DJ Electra. Do you have anything else to say? No, get out of here. All right, so we're next on our journey.
Let's do some steel toe real quick.
Oh, do we have to? All right. I mean, it's awesome.
We haven't talked about Aaron in a while, and there's elements that I don't really want to talk about. I did, but by the way, talk about this on Tukey Soup already. So if I repeat any of the jokes, just laugh like it's the first time. You know?
It's a different audience. It's okay.
I got Tukey, by the way, does a great Aaron impression. So this is a downgrade from the other day. But I will do my best to talk about this Aaron Steel Toe stuff because there's parts we didn't get to on Tukey Soup that I do want to address. So anyone that hasn't been following this, Aaron Imholt from Steel Toe was accused of domestic violence. Well, I shouldn't say accused. Some stuff came out from the court transcripts and text messages were leaked and all this stuff. And it seems like April Imholt is talking to Aaron's ex-wife, Ashley, about some kind of like domestic violence incident or an incident that turned violent, at least. I don't know the context. And I think the first clip we're going to play from Aaron was good enough for me. It's not good enough to satiate a lot of people on the internet, but I'll explain to you why, to me, this was whatever, fine. Like, I don't know why Aaron felt the need to do more than this, but he did. But let's hear the first clip, which to me is satisfactory.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable. That's what we call this.
If I mention a third party in a particular way, I could find myself in deep trouble. And I don't want to do that.
His ex-wife. He made it very hard to decode, but I've deduced that he's referring to his ex-wife.
I can never stare at anything but this guy's head. This hair is just ridiculous. My God. This is like Bob Levy when he was on Stern and dyeing it all black, jet black. It's just no one believes you. Yeah, no one believes you, Aaron. That hair is not real.
I'm going to try to talk about this in a way that limits. It's tough because I have to talk about it in a way that limits third-party involvement, but the only reason this exists is because of third-party involvement. It's fucking... I'll tell you something else. I really hope for all of you, whether you love me or hate me, I hope the worst fight of your relationship, marriage, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, I really hope that a shoddy description of your worst fight ever never becomes public.
So to me, I understand that. Like, I agree. I wouldn't want my worst fight with someone to be aired out publicly. I've never been married, but I know that a lot of divorce proceedings get very ugly. So none of my business. Aaron doesn't owe me an explanation. Now, I will say the things I've seen suggest it's a little more than that. Like, there's talking about him headbutting April and it getting legit. Now, I would also ask, like, there would be, I imagine if Aaron headbutted April, there would be some signs of that. Aaron claims they addressed it at the time and weren't really allowed to talk about it. I'm not interested in that element of things. That's where stuff gets ugly and people are obsessed with everyone's personal lives. I don't give a shit about that. I'm not interested in talking about it. If Aaron did it, he's a piece of shit, and have Adam, Patrick Melton go to town, whatever. But it's just not the field that I'm in is covering Aaron's marital drama. I don't really give a fuck about that aspect of things. I find it funnier to laugh at Aaron when he's saying, God, why are these kids trapped in this drug den? These beautiful children. Someone get them out of there. Not me, of course, but someone else. Get them out of there. That's my favorite Aaron. So him saying, like, listen, divorce proceedings get tremendously ugly. If there's a lot of stuff you can take out of that you can take out of context or whatever. I'm fine with that. Like, whatever. Now I would say to Aaron, you did talk about it for an hour. You talked about how you couldn't really talk about it and then went on to talk about it for over an hour. So to me, you don't need to do that much, but it at least anyone that was going to call him a pussy for not addressing it, he did address it evidently as best he can. And again, if he did these things, he's a scumbag and go to town on fucking with him in his YouTube comments. But he gets very mad about that. What seems much more important to him than people thinking he's a wife beater is hitting that goal. That elusive goal that he faces every day. Every morning, Aaron wakes up. If you guys don't know what the goal is, Aaron sets a financial goal to hit. And he says, you guys if we hit the goal of $400 or whatever it is, you guys are in for the biggest treat of all. Bonus content. That's right. If you pay him enough money, he will do 30 minutes on whatever topics weren't good enough for him to get to. So it would be like if today we talk about Stuttering John and Steel Toe and Jimmy Kimmel and Terence Howard and Joe Matarese. And then at the end, I'm like, guys, if you super chat me enough, I have a clip of Coach HP that I deemed not good enough to play during the regular show. I didn't really give that much of a fuck about it, but if you super chat me enough money, I'll play it. So this is the Aaron that I'm interested in, is him trying to reach that goal. Now they are, like I said, the goal is generally around $350, $400. They have not hit it today. I think mostly because people thought Aaron is a wife beater. So this is him counting down the minutes on the show.
And just as a content creator, this is the grossest fucking thing about Aaron. I mean, his hair is gross, but
there's a way to do it. There's a way, like, hey, if we hit the goal, I spin the, I'll be on the creep off tomorrow. So, hey, if we hit the goal, I spin the wheel of consequences and I do something crazy.
Right.
Sure.
It's got to be worth it. Yeah, it's got to be worth it.
There's got to be some incentive for the audience. It can't just be a telethon where it's like, guys, if we hit my goal, my kids get breakfast tomorrow. It's well, as Chris Rock said, like, what do you want, a cookie? That's what you're supposed to be doing, providing for your kids. It's not up to us to do that.
Right. Like on Unboxing Eric, we do that sort of thing with a goal. And we're like, hey, if we get some super chats, we'll do another call because it's a value. And people are like, oh, shit, yeah, I want to hear another call. What he's providing is like the scraps of nothing.
And not to give away your gimmick, if you don't hit the goal, you'll do the call next week. Aaron's like, well, we'll never talk about this subject then. You guys won't get to hear about it.
All right, guys, we are facing the end of today's show if we don't knock out that 160 in the next 6 minutes.
Listen to the verbiage he's using. We're facing the end. What's that? What's that over there? It's gaining on us. It's the end of the show. No, it's bearing down on me. The show is coming to an end.
That's a lot in 6 minutes. My God.
We've got 6 minutes to go. There's the links in the chat. Let's start a rally. Throw in your money. Streamlabs, PayPal, Steel Toe Media Inc. on Venmo, Super Chats, Rumble Rants. We need to do it now, guys. 160 is the number. We
Throw quarters at our faces.
Tukey looked up a bunch of different. He's like Amazon Prime dollars, a bunch of different services you could tip Aaron with.
Kohl's Cash. Get us
Blockbuster bucks.
a Slurpee card. I could use a Slurpee card.
We've been doing great. We hit a snag in the last hour. I want to keep that.
We hit a snag. My show's boring and none of you care. He calls that a snag.
Yeah, we hit a snag as if like Venmo was down. Like we hit a real snag. Fucking YouTube payments stopped processing.
We see the S&P went down for an hour, so that's why we didn't get any money. But now it's back up. Pay up,
guys. Certainly, this is because of the Dow Jones latest plummeting.
Warren Buffett says, "Donate."
That 16 show streak alive. 160 is the number. Let's do it. If you're feeling generous,
He is fucking just with OCD people. He's like, we got to keep the 16-day streak alive. Make sure we get that 360. Just the OCD people just emptying their wallets to make everything even. God damn you.
And he's not even a good auctioneer. Like, hey, do I hear Streamlabs, Venmo, Google Tips? Hey, do I hear $5? Anyone got $6? Let's make it $6.
Also, when you spray this broad everywhere, everyone's just like, well, I guess someone's giving him money anyway. I won't give him any money. Like, if you were like, just one place, give me money here. This is the donation tray. Then people give you money. He is so bad at this marketing thing.
Also, it goes back to what I talk about when like John and Kevin and these people shame their chatter. You guys are welcome to leave super chats right now. You're not obligated to. You don't.
Right.
I'm choosing to put this episode out for free. You can consume it that way if you'd like. I earn my living off of Patreon and YouTube members and super chats and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to donate because you appreciate the content, I appreciate that. But I'm not going to go to your home and knock on the door and say, dang lizard, I noticed you only spend $8 with me this month. This is a lovely home you have. I see you can afford more than that.
Yes, Cullinane gave me your real estate information, and we know this house is worth way more.
Guys, if you haven't donated, do know that I'm working with Dave Cullinane to get all of your addresses.
We're coming to your houses, doing a tour with a fucking like a hat out, the hat out tour. We just knock on the door, put a hat in your face, put the money in there, please.
Since the Karen Reed trial ended, Dave Cullinane has had a lot of free time, so beware.
throw in a couple of bucks. We'd really appreciate it. Just about to start overtime. Let's go ahead and knock this thing out. 5.5 minutes to go, $160 away. Let's watch that number tick on down with everybody thrown in. Don't wait for someone else to start the rally. Everybody start rallying at the same time.
I was waiting for someone else. As I believe I said on Tukey Soup the other day, who's going to be the Jackie Robinson of Aaron's chat? Who's going to have the bravery? Sure, the first few times this guy steps on the field, the N-word will be shouted at him. You know, he's going to have rocks will be thrown. He's going to have all kinds of horrible things to overcome. But one day, we'll all be wearing that guy's jersey number on his back.
Just put that $2.99. Yes, they might step on you with their cleats, but get it in there.
Who among you is brave enough?
Do we have a Neil Armstrong in the group?
Get this thing hammered out in no time. Again, 15-show streak on the line. Holiday week. Let's keep it going. I decided not to do evening shows this week.
This is one small step for Aaron's forehead and one giant leap for the goal as a whole.
Holiday streak. He's counting the holidays. Back to Christmas in 2019. We got the streak going. Goddamn.
With the 4th of July week, it was going to be really hard to hit those, and I didn't want to stress myself out. I didn't want to stress you guys out.
All right, we're down to the countdown.
That's my favorite. You missed where he said, I don't want to stress you guys out. Like, on the 4th of July, someone's like, Mike, I notice you haven't even taken a bite out of your hot dog there, pal. What's going on? I'm just like, why? They didn't hit the goal.
We missed the goal.
Didn't they hear this man? He didn't hit his wife. Marriages are complicated. They're complicated, damn it.
How can he hit his wife when he can't even hit the goal?
Mike, you're under so much stress.
To hit those, and I didn't want to stress myself out. I didn't want to stress you guys out.
What is Johnny Crutches gonna do? As I wipe the sweat from my brow.
I didn't want to stress myself out. Make sure I get that in there. God damn. These people always tell on themselves.
By the way, like, I had Casey cut out maybe, what would you say, 7 seconds total of this?
Yes.
Like, I think we basically just cut around dead air and stuff, but this is the whole last 5 minutes of his show.
It really is the only thing worth watching just as a hate watch. The rest of the show is just meh. But this is like, oh, God.
Lot of stuff coming up during overtime today. Throw in a couple of bucks, please. Streamlabs, PayPal, we got to start a rally. We're 160
Again,
away.
none of it good enough for me to talk about in the first 4 hours of my show.
So bad we're 160 short.
I've done 4 hours without a break, and these stories weren't worth mentioning. But please, if it's worth $160 to you, throw that my way so I can talk about them.
And the whole time, the Johnny co-host over here is literally like grabbing a vein in this front of his forehead that's popping because he's so annoyed by this whole thing.
Poor Johnny Crutches.
Don't I have enough to deal with? Is what he's thinking.
We've got 4 minutes left. No rally has been started yet, and we're 4 minutes away. This is
the cars have not left the starting line.
Looking bad. $160 is the number. All the links right there in the chat.
Rally,
Let me put them up
rally.
again.
Your victim's
Boom,
name
there.
is Ashley.
There we go. Let's go ahead and knock this thing out. I don't want to see this be an L. I know it's a holiday week, but
Greatness teacher, don't
please and thank you on that.
I know no one
3.5
spends money on the 4th of July. What does that even mean? It's a holiday week.
You got your fireworks, so nothing for me. I see how it is.
Listen, I know how holidays work when the American credit card companies shut down spending.
Yes.
American Express says it's not allowed.
minutes to go, and no rally has started yet. Who wants to be the first one to fire it off?
It's almost embarrassing now if you're the first one. Stop talking about it. God damn.
Right, like this is like there are you've mentioned in the past like our YouTube numbers and stuff, and I always say don't do that because even if it's good for us, it's shitty for other. Like if you compare it to Mr. Beast, I don't like looking at my numbers. You know what I mean? So I don't like bragging about that stuff.
Right. In fairness, that was Hack Ride, not me.
That's true. Hack. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for casting you into that umbrella.
Okay. He lives in me. It's an easy mistake, but yes.
But my point is, like, Aaron could learn from that. A little humility, where you're not going like, guys, please, no one's gonna super chat me. It's like, Aaron, take some solace in the fact that you made $150 earlier or whatever. Like, good for you. There's a lot of channels that wouldn't be able to do that. So good for you, buddy. You know, it's terrific.
We'd kill not to hit your goal over Hack Ride Studios, asshole.
Right.
Oh, fuck, man. This is bad news.
Bad news.
God damn.
160
The
away.
New York Post headline is just bad news with a picture of Aaron's goal.
Yeah. Thank God this didn't happen on 9/11. Would move the whole thing down. Aaron would have been front page. Bad news. Another story, some towers fell.
No one's paying attention to this school shooting because the goal wasn't met.
This goddamn audience doesn't support their creator.
And about 3 minutes left to knock this thing out. If you'd like to contribute, go ahead and contribute.
They've made it clear. Aaron, talk about something else or end the show.
Oh, God, I'd like to be able to take money back at this point. Can I take my previous donations back?
This is how fascinating this is to watch a man do this. I've done this now twice this week for free on YouTube. I sat with Tukey and watched this entire segment, and now I'm doing it again because I think at some point Casey is going to play a clip for me where he's like, "I'm just fucking with you guys. You think I would really do this?" That would be humiliating.
I'm looking at my file. I don't have that clip, Mike. Don't have that one. It is not in the files.
60 is the number. This is looking pretty flat.
Also, what a way just to end your show with a self-produced L. Like you could have the greatest show ever and then just end on this dud. It makes no sense.
He's like, this is looking pretty flat. What, the content for the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, we gave up.
It is.
Long
by
ago.
the way, Tukey showed that what's beautiful about it is he's talking immediately leading into this. He's talking about Ukraine and Russia, and he's like, it's all just a grift for money. That's what it boils down to. Anyways, we haven't hit the goal today. There's literally no separation between the two.
He did take a half breath. So yeah.
3 minutes away during a holiday week. Maybe we should have taken the week off.
Boy, that sounds like a guy that really loves podcasting. Maybe we should have just never broadcasted.
Love of the game, Mike. He's doing it for the love of the game.
Because I fell short $160. Aaron, what's that $160 going to be? Like, if you are that hard up for money, where if someone doesn't give you $160, you're going to shut down your entire show. Maybe podcasting isn't for you. You know, like I'm not a wealthy man now. I've been more poor in my life, if you can believe that. I've had even less money than I do right now. But I don't expect you guys to compensate me to make up for that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't expect it to be like, hey, we didn't enjoy the show today, but you might have to get a real job. So here's $160.
Yeah, we don't want to see Blind Mike bagging groceries. Come on, give us the money. Everyone,
yeah, no, we hate his show and have no interest in it. But it is kind of our fault. So we better pay him.
Is there a guilt tax write-off in the tax code? That would be amazing.
Right.
Why do this? Is the
Guys, 2.5 minutes. If you're feeling generous, if you got a little extra to throw at us, boy, do we need it right now.
Well, Aaron,
come on, boys
Aaron,
and girls.
Maybe I'm missing something. As a new viewer, maybe I'm missing something here where he's like, we really need it right now. Put some stakes on this. If you don't get the $160, does one of your kids die? Like, do they foreclose on your house? What happens, you know? Because you just saying we really need this, to me, that means nothing. Yeah. To me, it seems like you're kind of just shaking a tin cup and literally begging your audience to give you money for no reason. But if you say, hey, my kid won't eat today. I need food for myself, and I don't have that $160 to buy this kid food. So here's their starving face. Then that might encourage me to donate some money. You got to put stakes on this, you know?
Yeah, Aaron needs to take, like I said earlier, Aaron needs to take a page from Wendy the Wonderful. Wendy will just show up on the channel and she'd be like, I need $100 for spaghetti tonight. And so you know the amount and you know what it's getting.
Yeah. Hey, spaghetti doesn't cost $100, but what the hell? The lady knows what she wants.
Oh, no, we went over it. It does cost $100 from where Wendy gets it. We're just all mind blown that she does that with her money. But yes, at least that would be more honest than what Aaron is doing here.
Right.
Let's do this thing. Help us out a little bit. Help out the old toe. 2.5 minutes left, 160 away. We have gotten literally zero.
I like that he's like, help out the
period.
Aaron, have some dignity, please. I had to stop myself from talking over him. Aaron, please.
The look the co-host is giving him and the praying hands that Aaron is in right now. This is a hilarious still shot. Aaron is praying for donations.
I like his marketing skills. I'll have to ask Carl to break this down from a marketing perspective, because he says, give it up for the old toe. Like, hey, don't do it for me. Do it for greater steel toe, which is me.
Do it for the big toe in the sky.
Yeah, like what toe? I think Tukey was referencing that too. Like the toe, it might have been Carr. I forget who said it the other day. But it's like he's Joel Osteen, and the steel toe boot is God that we are all giving to.
And also about this strategy, which is, not a terrible strategy if used as satire. So over at Hackwright Studios, we beg for money too, and we've asked our audience for $1 billion. And so every time we ask for money, you're getting money towards the $1 billion goal, and the goal is that we have this thing that never gets full, because it's so at least have some fun with it if you're going to do it,
Or even I've joked when we're talking about John or something, and someone super chats, I'll go, really? That's all you got? That's all you can afford? $2? I won't spend it all in one play. I'm kidding. Now, that might inspire that person to jokingly be like, all right, here's $5, you asshole. Because they know I'm fucking around. This is Aaron going like, guys, you're letting me down here. Like, you have disappointed. I'm not mad. I am disappointed in you.
Yeah. Not going to feed the kid today? On you. That's your fault. Not my fault. I'm the good parent. You're the one that didn't give me the money.
2 minutes and 15 seconds.
He's counting by the second.
The longest fucking 5 minutes that we've endured thus far.
Tell me about it.
Again, still 160.
They could have had the show of the decade and then put this at the end, and it just to kill the entire thing.
It's also Aaron. Aaron is close enough to a comedy show that he must understand it's way funnier when he keeps reading the goal of 160 and counting down the seconds. It's so much funnier for no one to donate. How does he not realize that?
You're setting it up.
Again, still nothing doing. Ooh, if you hate Steel Toe, you fucking love this. You think this is a great start to the week.
Aaron, I don't hate you. I don't have any thoughts on you. But it is hilarious, yes.
God, he went there real quick. Oh, y'all hate me. Y'all hate me. You're not giving me any money.
I don't really have any thoughts on you as a human being, Aaron. I think you're showing me more and more that you're a goofball that can be made fun of. But like I said, who amongst us can't be made fun of? But when you're like, oh, the world is out to get me, that's when it gets fucking crazy.
Yeah, this dude has two major personality flaws. This one and that one where he's like, I've been in radio 30 years. I know everything. That he mentions that every fucking 10 seconds too. And it really are these crutches that he should just get rid of. Just do broadcast. If people like it, they'll pay you. If not, you'll go away.
Well, I mean, you mentioned, like, you said to me earlier that I'm a flow guy. Like, I don't like when things interrupt the rhythm of the show.
Such a flow guy.
If we had a chat that just hated me and was solely here to talk shit about me and type things I didn't want to read, I would probably, I'll admit this to you guys, I would probably just stop reading the chat because it would entirely interrupt the show.
All right, Super Chat, you know what to do. God damn it, Mike, you just did it.
Yeah,
you just did what he did. You set it up.
I mean, today we'll read them because that'll be fun. But my point is, I'm not going to stop Why You Laughing to be like, and listen, we'll get back to what Bob Newhart did on his sitcom in a moment. But I just want to say, dang lizard, if that is your real name, my mother does not wear army boots. It would entirely interrupt the flow of the show. You can't do a show and rely on these people to contribute, especially when you're like Aaron and you know they're all fucking with you. Why are you doing that to yourself?
Absolutely. And also, Newhart kicked ass.
Hey guys, 2-minute warning, $160. Please chip in. Please go to that PayPal, that Streamlabs, that
like
Super
someone's
Chat.
Speeding home. I don't want to break the law and do this while I'm driving, but
and we started at 6, we're at 2. That was just 4 minutes of our life. We're never getting back.
A guy's weaving in and out of traffic. The toll needs me.
Whatever. There's the links again. Click it, rally, get inside of 50 so we can buy ourselves a little time. A minute and a half to go.
I'm paying divorce lawyers
Nothing.
here.
Not a fucking thing.
But if he said that, it would at least be fun. If he's like, guys, I got to pay for this fucking divorce. I'm beating all my wives. I got to pay for this somehow.
We got to write him lines or something. God damn. We can make you give us a portion of the amount of money at the end and we'll write lines for you. Steel Toe, how about that?
Landers says, "Ayo."
How am I going to beat a third wife if you guys don't contribute?
There you go. Cha-ching. I'm putting $10 on that one. Good job, Blind Mike.
Not good. Not very good right now. A minute and a half to go. And nothing coming in.
Aaron, we know it's a minute and a half because it was only 30 seconds ago that you said 2 minutes. We know.
What if money is coming in and he's just doing this because his co-host can't see it and he's just doing it so he doesn't have to pay him? He's like, nope, no money's coming in. No money for the co-host.
He's got fucking Chris Berman there. Tick, 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 tick.
160 is the number. Apparently, we did a dog shit job today.
Oh, Jesus, Aaron.
Guilt. Oh.
I guess I'm no fucking good. I guess everyone just hates me.
He really wants to tie his how good the show does to a monetary value that you must pay or not think the show is good.
I'm certain that the best episode I've done has nothing to do with the amount of super chats I get. What I can guarantee you is that the most super chats I've gotten probably has Stuttering John in the title.
Yes. Or,
that doesn't mean it's the best show. Like, I'm aware of that. Aaron. I almost called him Steel Toe. Aaron, don't beat yourself up. Do a good show. If you build it, Aaron, they will come. Yes. If you do a good show and people start saying, like, hey, this Aaron guy isn't so obsessed with the goal, but his show is great, it will pay dividends.
Right,
you might find that people give you money.
He's like driving people out to a field of corn. Here's where the baseball field's going to here. Give me 50 cents and I'll make this baseball field. No, build the field, asshole. No one wants to see your corn.
Sorry about the bad show, boys and girls, but if you hate Steel Toe, this has been a great weekend and a great start to the week for you, so I'm glad we could get you that. We've
I
got
gotta
a
say,
minute.
and I don't know how like Patrick Melton and Chad feel, but I'm trying to think. Well, I guess I kind of hate John now. I don't really hate any of these people, but let's use John as the example. John going into a tailspin and leaving the Dabbleverse or whatever he says he's doing, it certainly didn't make my weekend any better. I don't mention it to people in my life like this guy that I fuck with on the internet. You're gonna think I'm pretty cool when I say this. He had a bad week.
Yeah, it makes my food taste better.
He didn't get any super chats, so you can imagine him on cloud 9. That would be psychotic, Aaron. I should be in McLean with my sister Rachel if that was the case. If Patrick Melton actually has a good week because you had a bad one, that says more about Patrick Melton. Don't focus on that so much. It's ruining your show.
My favorite is Psychologist Mike, helping these people out. You know, they don't
try.
listen to you, but you try. Yeah, you try. You give them the free advice, and they don't take. You know, he wants cash, not advice.
I guess.
And change left, and nobody throwing in anything during this big period. Well, I hope you guys watched Johnny's show today. I'm glad.
I'm getting about as much money as sex as I did from my last ex-wife. Hey, is that worth anything? $2? Anyone?
99 cents at least.
Yeah, that's worth a super sticker. Come on, guys. Come on.
I'm taking tonight off. This was a fucking bummer.
You
guys, we got a little.
Listen to that. Finally, this Johnny Crutches guy speaks up. He's like, I just don't know what to. Hey, I'm sorry, man.
It's
You okay?
my fault. God, I'm just gonna go on the roof for a while.
Less than a minute to knock this thing out, to help out a little. And we got nothing. 35
I added that.
seconds. All right, we'll run
I added that. That would at least be funny if he did something
this
like that.
thing down.
Right.
We'll say goodbye. We'll get a half hour off to start.
Goodbye,
the week, I
cruel
guess.
world.
It is. It's like this might be the last time you ever talk to me. Tell Mom I said I love her. That's a steel tip.
Aaron is swinging from the ceiling fan, and just underneath him is a note that says Venmo, PayPal, Streamlabs.
Before we get to the next Aaron, we got a couple super chats here. Let's get to real quick. DJ Electrify, you got this one?
Oh, sure. Mojo Buffalo for $9.99. Yo, $10 towards the goal. Please remember to remember the 90s.
Hey, we got $10 towards the goal. Hey, Cardiff. Is that Cardiff? Who else would promote that show? That's got it. All right. And here we go. One more.
And Mark Abatista for $5. John rambling on X all morning. Looks like he's back. Sorry about your sister, Mike.
Thank you, buddy. Has he done more?
I'm checking. Hold on one second. I don't.
Because all morning would imply more than 2 tweets.
Yeah, he was busy early this morning, and now he's like gym and so let's see.
My guess is when he tweeted last night, "Goodbye Dabbleverse." My guess is he had a few Coors Lights in him.
Oh,
and then came to his senses this morning.
How would you even think like that of that man? I don't
well,
know.
that's speculation. It's reckless speculation.
All right, so I don't know what this has to. So it's 37 minutes ago, John Melendez.
I had a long talk with the Dirty Deeds, who didn't know that MLC has repeatedly called my mother a dumb cunt. Even though I asked him to stop, he has trashed my sister.
That's not real. That's not real.
It is real. I'm reading it. It's 100% real.
For Chad Zumach to say, I crossed the line, is rich. I think his wife is beautiful. I never disparaged her.
He must be talking about Kevin's wife. So Chad Zumach say he crossed the line, talking about Kevin's wife.
Yeah, John gave out where she works.
Yeah. It might be a little crossing the line.
She's not a public figure. Of course it's crossing the line.
And by the way, then KB came on and did maybe my favorite episode of KB ever, where he just...
I heard. I have not watched it yet.
Oh,
I figured we had enough to talk about today, but...
Oh my God, it's so good. It's no shitware. It's no bullshit. It's Kevin Brennan, old Kevin Brennan, just flattening Stuttering John for
that
40
is
minutes.
one, like, Shuli and Carl and me and Carl, like, none of us will get as nasty as I think Kevin Brennan is willing to. So
no, he cuts
it's an interesting enemy he's made.
he slices deep. All right, one more here. DJ, look at that.
Dang Lizard for €2. Aaron misses the goal and can't appease the toe.
Oh, really dang. €2. What's that? $1.50? You prick.
Holy shit. I've never seen this before. DJ Electrify, good luck. We got one more.
Okay.
Wasabista for 666 something.
I think it's yen. It's red, Mike. It's good. It's red.
Okay,
so
good.
whatever it is, it's
All
good.
right. Thank you. We hit the goal today. Thank you,
Yes.
everyone.
And they say that Mike's SJ has already divulged your last name. Read
What?
this super chat or I'll disclose Rachel's maiden name as well.
No, come on.
Wait, isn't that the same thing? Oh no, he's got you. He's got you.
Shut up. You shut your mouth.
Yen. Okay, thank you, Mike Ock.
Yeah, it's a yen, right? So that's Japanese money. Hey,
Nice.
look at it. Yeah, look at us.
I may need to seek refuge there. I may need to leave the
Yes.
country.
Oh, you and one of those Japanese geese or whatever would be amazing.
Hot.
All right. Thank you, DJ Electra. All right, now on to the second steel toe video here.
Okay, yeah. So this is the next day. So I'm sure a lot of you guys will disagree with me. I know a lot of people hate Aaron. I know, like our boy Principled Uncertainty messaged me, and like is really fascinated by how much he hates this guy. So I'm sure a lot of you will disagree with me about the first day. Like, well, he said enough. He doesn't have to explain any more to us, and that's perfectly fine. You guys can have that opinion. What was tough to watch was the next day, when I thought he gave a perfectly reasonable answer. Whether it's true or not is a different argument. But like he said his piece. The next day, he goes after the chat, and this is pretty wild. So we're gonna see manipulative Aaron here, where I'm like, oh, okay, so it's all an act, I guess. This is interesting to watch.
Speaking of which, I got a beautiful letter from my daughter yesterday. My daughter and I were talking, and I like to check up on the kids every once in a while, see if they're doing okay with everything.
Watch him try and muster up tears.
I already hear it kind of try to come.
Aaron, if you can't cry in command, that's fine. That's not a skill we all possess. Don't worry about it, buddy. Maybe don't go down that road. Don't box yourself into a corner where it's like, all right, I'm trying to cry, so I better fucking muster up a tear here.
And I just asked my daughter yesterday. She was sitting down here. We just played kickball. She was sitting down here. I go, how you doing with everything?
Daddy,
Everything.
why are
that's going
kids
on,
at
huh?
school saying you didn't hit the goal yesterday?
Daddy, they say you have a dead ferret on your head.
Daddy, the kids at school are telling me to go to Streamlabs and Venmo because you didn't hit your goal. Why?
Oh, I am totally throwing that kid in a locker if I'm a bully.
How are you doing? And she goes, I'm sad sometimes.
Okay. Well, next one's called emotions.
Okay, so Aaron is now using his child. By the way, I don't think I did pull the clip where he's like, if anyone says anything negative about me in the I'm doing Stuttering John's voice, sorry.
We all do. We have to.
He goes, if anyone's doing anything negative about me in the chat, mods, get rid of them.
Oh, yeah. Clear the road. Clear the road.
Yeah, he goes, if anyone says that I hit my wife, then you have to get rid of them. Aaron, it's going to be tough to hit the goal. You got to be one or the other. You can't rule with an iron fist on the chat and beg people for money. You're ruining half your market. Michael Jordan said Republicans need sneakers too. Trolls need to super chat you also, Aaron, for you to hit that goal.
But I asked my 10-year-old, how you doing? She goes, I miss April sometimes. This is the one who cut April's pictures out of
the one who was very, very upset about it.
We shouldn't know that, Aaron. You're giving us too much insight into your daughter's life.
The one who had the most of a bond with
Yeah. And she said when she was good and she was around, she would take me shopping. We would go places together. And I really liked it.
I'm sorry I'm dwelling on this. What a horrible thing to say. Like, I'm sure in an amount of years or months, that daughter will be like, you told April I cut all her pictures out? Like, I didn't want April to know that. Aaron tells the world. Like, he didn't just go to April and say, hey, my daughter cut all your pictures out of our family photos. He's telling everyone. Like, I personally think it's an invasion of your kids' privacy when you post them on social media. Like, I know that's the world we live in now, but whatever. But to tell them like intimate details like that, to tell your audience, hey, my daughter went through this really traumatic experience, which I don't even know if it happened or not, but my daughter was so mad at April that the daughter might be like, hey, I don't want people to fucking know that. What's wrong with you? And he's just using that to hit the goal.
And that is why I say Aaron's original sin is that I'm from the old school radio. You don't know old school radio. Well, this is what the Howard Stern copycats used to do. Right. They would listen to Stern talk about his real life and think, oh, if I just talk about my real life, it'll be just as interesting. But that's what Stern's magic was. He was able to, make that interesting but not give everything away. And these people don't know that, and so they literally give everything away.
And you had, like, we've heard it with John in the opposite direction, where John is like, I talk about my real life. That's what Howard did. I learned from the best. So I had 2 eggs this morning and a protein bar. I went to the gym. I did 3 speed with a 0.9 incline, or whatever the fuck he says.
I got a hemorrhoid.
It's like, John, these things aren't interesting. And same to Aaron. It's like, Howard, as I always say, Howard had a charm to him. Like, no matter how funny you find Stern in hindsight or whatever, he was a skilled broadcaster. I think Opie and Anthony had that. Opie not as much, but like Anthony knew details about his life that were interesting. Jim Norton was tremendously open about things that only impacted his life, his sexuality and fetishes and things like that. They weren't ruining other people's lives. And I mean, like, sometimes you could argue like girlfriends and stuff, but he was very private about their names and things like that. Aaron has no grasp on what that is. He's just like, oh, Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern talked about their life. I'll talk about my life. Here's some private information about my wife and daughter and my ex-wife and all these people around me. Aaron doesn't possess that skill, that charm that Howard had to be able to do that.
Right. Just think of like the private parts thing with the Howard's miscarriage, right? Like that was going to be a private call. And in the moment, he just decided I can make this content. Like it wasn't planned out and thought out and, determined. It was like, oh, okay, I'm a creator. Boom, this is creative. Yeah. And afterwards, he even said, I don't know if I'd do it again. Aaron took that.
It's something Howard learned from.
Right. All these people that copy Howard take that moment and then just say, no, look at my hemorrhoid. Look at my strawberry chocolate-covered hemorrhoid. Like that's what Howard was doing, John, you idiot. It wasn't.
I should do this. There will be no consequences later.
I will just tell you the grossest and worst things about myself.
No, that's not it.
Well, I said even earlier, like I did, I recorded my mom, and I wish I hadn't shown her face because then people take pictures and stuff like that, like use it for nefarious purposes. Like you learn from these things. Aaron never learns. He never learns from he's like, I gotta say, all this stuff with the Raketas and April, it's really made me learn. Maybe I shouldn't be as open. Anyways, here's what my daughter is up to.
Yeah. The same man that was blowing Nick Raketa wants to tell you about his daughter. Oh,
right.
Thanks, Dave.
And we hugged, and it was nice. And I said, honey, I miss her too.
Really? Oh, well, Daddy, why did you call her a coke whore and give out all this private information about her?
Daddy,
why were you glad that everyone found out she's blowing Nick Raketa and is in the same room as him, Daddy, if you love her so much?
Yeah, that's a fair question. Not going to answer that unless you pay up. Pay the gold, daughter, and I will answer.
And that shit yesterday, man.
Uh-oh.
That was unfortunate. It was from 2.5 years ago.
So what we're watching is, yesterday, he gave a pretty logical, like, again, you guys can disagree with all you want. I'm totally fine with that. I don't know. I'd have to know more about Aaron to know if I'm on the right path there. But from my perspective, Aaron gave a fine explanation. I don't know if it's true. Maybe it's horse shit. But for his purposes, he gave a fine, reasonable explanation. Today, he's learning, when I gave a reasonable explanation, I missed all that is holy, and that is the goal. The goal reigns supreme. So what I need to do today is, even though I'm wiping out the part of the chat that hates me, I need to tug at the heartstrings of the people who love me and say, guys, look at how sad I am. Look at how sad my daughter is. don't you want to contribute to the goal? The elusive goal? We missed it yesterday, but look it, I'm crying today.
Yeah, some of that money may trickle down to her, even.
It's not valid. It didn't happen that way. And the people who know me know that, and the people who know her know that. Unfortunately, neither of us can really speak about it because both of us are under an order where we can't really talk about it. And I've been given the leeway from another party to talk about it as much as I can. I can't anymore. I made a deal.
Very confusing.
But my daughter and I gave her a big hug. She gave me a big hug. And, that's the kind of
And she
shit
whispered, smash that goal today, Pa.
Do it for me, Daddy.
I'm working through.
Vultures.
Okay, so this is, I think, where he talks about people like Patrick Melton maybe coming after him.
My daughter then left me a note yesterday, and she left me some really cute stickers in it.
He's trying so hard. We hear him over the
shit
course
like
of minutes, trying to
And she
muster a
said,
tear as best he can.
Just
Yeah, sorry about that. Yes, he's trying to push it out. This is
maybe that was like me acting during that Rachel monologue I did.
the crazy thing.
Like, can I muster up a tear here?
You did way better. You did way better than that. But it's funny because narcissism and this kind of ego people, like he'll talk about his daughter and then kind of choke up. But if he talked about his career and coming up through the radio world and the struggles that he would bawl like a little baby girl, because they think about their lives so self-centered that's what you can tell when he's crying about his daughter here. It's very forced. It's manufactured.
Right.
Dad, I love you. I hate seeing you sad. She said, I just want you to be happy. I love when you play kickball with us. And she basically, in her way,
wrote this down,
said, I want you to stay away from the internet and I want you to be happy.
In her way is very telling.
Yes.
What that means is, in no way did she write, stay away from the internet. Also, if you have a 10-year-old, should they know you're getting bullied on the internet? Like, should that be information that they're aware of? You know what I mean?
That doesn't help. You know?
You know what I mean? Like, should you be showing them your YouTube comments?
Probably not.
It's very weird. Like, he says things that are very telling. Like, in her own way, she says, this Patrick Melton is a piece of shit. It's like, she wasn't saying that, Aaron. You think that everyone in your world is obsessed with the goal. Like, in her way, she said, today you're going to surpass that goal, Pa. She didn't say that.
No.
And I said, that's beautiful. So that letter from my daughter inspired me to say, just cut these people loose. Fuck these vultures who are trying to kill you. Fuck these vultures who don't care about you. Who don't care about the truth. Who don't care about
trying to kill you thing I want to address. We've talked about this with Chris D'Elia. I've been suicidal in my life and dealt with suicidal thoughts. When I am in that state, I don't just go up to random people and go, if you don't do what I want, maybe I'll just fucking kill myself. It's actually quite the opposite. If someone says, how you doing, Mike? I'm like, I'm terrific. I'm great. I'm not manic at all. I'm perfectly normal right now. That's what you say when you're suicidal. When people like Chris D'Elia and Aaron Imholt say they're suicidal, it's because they want you to think like, wow, this guy is really in some pain, man. He keeps doing this thing where he's like, I guess the chat just wants me to fucking kill myself. It's like, yeah, that's not how depressed people operate. They don't threaten you.
No, and it's kind of like the scoring and like ice skating. Like, yeah, sure, someone probably said that, but you just throw out the top and the bottom one. You throw out the one that says we love you and you want you to off yourself, and then you kind of look at the normal chats.
Right.
You're focusing on the wrong end there, you know?
But he's tugging at the heart. So he wants nice people to donate him money. So he's saying like, guys, I mean, that's sad, right? That these people want me to kill myself. It's like, who wants that? I mean, maybe Patrick Melton says some wild shit on his show. I'm sure Chad Zumock says some crazy shit. If they said it, I'm sure they don't mean it. But like, even if they do, it's two guys on the internet. Who cares? Don't let it fucking get to you, Aaron. Jesus Christ.
What's interesting here is the manipulation of the audience.
Yeah.
Like, it's full. Everything we're watching is manipulation of the audience. So just pretend for one moment you're in a relationship with this man. So
oh my
manipulation seems to be the key word here. And so he's manipulating his audience to feel guilt about things. Imagine what he does to you when he knows you.
Yeah, I'm sure this is what he would do with April and his other wife, like cry, and then maybe it leads to violence when he doesn't get his way. I don't know.
No, it was just a really big hug. It was just a tight hug, Mike.
That's true. He did say that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm naive.
When have you not crushed the lungs of your lover with a tight hug? Come on, we've all done
That's
this.
fair. Yeah, that's a good point.
These people loose. Fuck these vultures who are trying to kill you. Fuck these vultures who don't care about you, who don't care about the truth, who don't care about anything.
Aaron, I'm not under any delusion. These people in the chat, generally speaking, seem to like me, and they're polite to me. I'm not under the delusion that they like care if I die tomorrow. You know, like they'll be like, "Oh, that sucks. I like the show," and then they'll move on with their days. You know, the idea that you need these people to care about you is very bizarre. And if people say in the chat, like, "Hey, Mike, we do care about you," that's very sweet, but it's not your obligation. You know, that's the weird thing is Aaron is putting on his chat the responsibility of a loved one. Like, you're supposed to care for me and nurture me and support me financially and lift me up when I'm down. That's what the YouTube chat is supposed to do. And it's why he has the pattern of relationships that he has, where he love bombs these people and puts this obligation on them, where all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, I'm married to this guy. What happened?
Yeah. And he does the thing that Stuttering John does, where every accusation is an admission. So when he's like, everyone's a vulture. But I talked to my daughter yesterday and let me get content out of that.
You're right.
Like,
I had a
you're the
very
vulture.
private talk with my daughter.
Yeah. And she got her red thing. It came, everyone. Congratulations. She got our monthly visitor. I'm sharing that with my audience. Please give me our goal. We got to get our goal. Our daughter has her period. I mean, that is the kind of nonsense he's done.
She didn't want me to say it in front of people she knows and cares for. But I thought it would be cool in front of you complete strangers.
Yeah, my daughter's name is Carrie, and they just made her homecoming queen. It's going to be awesome.
But for some reason, having their fun on the internet is playing this game where they pretend to give a shit about someone they've said horrible things about for the last year and whose stated goal was to ruin her life and wreck her life and break her. And they did.
So he's talking about April, and Aaron ruined April's life.
I bet April is coming harder now than she ever has. I don't think she looks at her life as ruined right now.
He did bring her to a den of orgasms, so I guess that's a positive.
A den of orgasms.
But he put her on this show. He put her in a situation where she was getting made fun of. He mixed, and Aaron has admitted this. He said it was a mistake to mix his relationship with his business, and now he's saying it's Patrick Melton's fault that April is addicted to drugs and cock over there at the Regatta House.
This is called a speedy recovery.
Okay, so you heard him crying there. This is me. This is trying to cry. He was so sad, and his daughter was so sweet to him, and you guys don't give a fuck, boy. If only there was one thing that could lift my spirits.
I wonder what it is.
Thank you very much, Adam. He says onward and upward and throws in $30. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, we're only 150 away from today's goal. If you want to keep pumping in the big bucks. Oh, my goodness. We might get this thing knocked out by 7 o'clock. Oh, my God. What are all the haters who think I'm the most terrible guy in the world going to do when we not only ban them, but we knock out our goal and maybe knock out yesterday's goal at the same time?
I'm king of the world! Anything is possible!
What are you going to think, haters, when I made money that I make money on my show from yesterday? Yay!
I can't speak for the haters. I'm not a hater of yours, Aaron. I can't speak for all of them. But I imagine they'll think something like, I hit the goal today. And I assume that's probably it. And they'll have nothing to make fun of, I guess, other than this reaction, where seconds ago you were crying, And now you're like, yeehaw! Oh, we hit the... What was I crying about? Some little bitch that wrote me a letter? Who cares? We're on the hype train now, baby. We're on the train to money.
Yeah, and that's when you want to, like, all the success. Block all the haters so we can't tell them about all the success we just have. Like, why would you block all the
those
people?
moments, you want the haters in there, Aaron, so you can rub it in their face that you made $30.
All right, we've got a few super chats here. We got one thing to clear up here. Wasabista, the 666 yen that came in red, that's $4. Why is it red? But thank you for the $4. Thank you for the $4.
That's a lot of money where he's from.
Yes, no, thank you. We are going to reach our goal. All right, DJ Electra, here you go.
Reverend Shitstain Powerful Pooper, love your name, for $2. I care about you, Mike. Promise. XOXOXO.
I'll admit I was fishing for that. Now I can admit that, but
that's how you do it, Aaron. That's how you do it. You got to be manipulative in a good way, not in the bad way.
Right. You fool these people into saying nice things about you.
God, what does he manipulate that daughter into? So much manipulation. All right, one more here. DJ Electra.
Abby Normal for $4.99. Hey, Mike, you made a fine replacement for Carl on PDP this week.
Damn straight.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll be replacing Carl on the Creep Off tomorrow as well.
No.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
what's happening with Carl? Are you just absorbing him?
He passed away.
Oh, no. Carl and Kragers.
Yep.
Gone before their time.
A lot of graves I have in my backyard.
Let me try to fake a cry. Nope, can't do it. Sorry. Sorry. All right, Blind Mike, we got a few more subjects to go. What would you like to go to next?
All right, let's talk a little. This is a quick one, but let's talk Kimmel on Two Bears, One Cave.
All right.
Because we've been talking about this for a while. Tom Segura, and people lump Bert Kreischer in here, and we've talked about his social media and stuff. I don't put Bert Kreischer quite in the same category that I put Segura. Segura is a guy, if you're looking for someone on the trajectory of Howard Stern, Jimmy Kimmel, people that like basically forgot who they are and how they built an audience, Segura, through his stand-up and stuff, hasn't done that yet, but through some of his other actions tell me that he's on the road to becoming a complete phony. And this is a weird interaction where Jimmy Kimmel is the realistic one, and Segura is living in this like fantasy land where none of it's true. And it's so interesting to me because Kimmel would be a fascinating subject for real comics to have on, because Kimmel has, fake cried and apologized for things on his show and gotten his brain warped by Trump. And he's completely gone down this path of like, he was a different kind of late night talk show host, and now he's possibly douchier than Stephen Colbert. Like, it's a weird trajectory he's been on. And Segura is like, Kimmel admits that basically. And Segura is like, no, you're crazy. So Kimmel was on Two Bears, One Cave. The Two Bears, One Cave audience probably isn't thrilled about that. They probably don't love the boys yucking it up with a phony like Jimmy Kimmel. And Kimmel's aware of that. And Tom Segura is not, for some reason.
Well, I mean, I have to say, it's rare that I feel like wounded by something that I see online. But the last time I felt very wounded was after I went to your guys' show and you guys posted some pictures with me and all your fans fucking hate me.
No.
I'm sure you noticed. I mean, it was
Segura's like, no way, that's crazy. When it's like, Rogan has had an issue with Segura. That's what's interesting is like the world that Segura comes from. Like Segura is considered a Rogan comic, and Rogan has had an issue with Jimmy Kimmel because Kimmel shit all over Rogan for the ivermectin stuff. It's interesting to have that guy on and not examine any of it. Where Segura is just like, oh, that's crazy. Like he's about to use the argument where it's like it's less than 1% of the audience, which is very often true. You shouldn't focus on negative comments. But what Kimmel is saying is, oh, no, like, none of your fans want me on. Like, I'm actually kind of mystified that you guys have me on because your audience thinks I'm a phony.
I definitely noticed.
You must have noticed.
I said, Tom, have you posted your pictures yet? I take the ones that Kimmel out.
See, like, that's where Kreischer, people lump Bert and Tom into the same boat. I think Kreischer is much more honest about this stuff. Like, Kreischer will go down the road of, being an influencer on Instagram and this stuff that kind of appears douchey. But if you call him out for it on his show, he'll acknowledge it. He'll be like, oh, yeah, you know what? I was embarrassed by that. I was smelling my own shit a little bit, whatever. Sigura is the one I worry about more because he won't acknowledge it at all. It's bizarre.
Probably be wise.
There's this like, group amongst fans that are always the loudest.
Yeah, I know. It's only like 95, 90, 98%.
Yeah.
See, Kimmel is having fun with it. And Sigura is like, oh, it's only a couple of people. Kimmel's like, no, I'm telling you, it's everyone. It's like your whole fan base doesn't want me on this show.
Yeah, it's always rough when the guest has a little more self-awareness about his particular situation than you do about his particular
And when the guest with self-awareness is Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Who had to take off his Karl Malone blackface to appear. Yeah.
But they always, the people.
Well, there's an idea, I think, that like somehow I betrayed this group of men that in comedy. Like somehow I was the man. But I was always exactly like this. Exactly.
Well, Jimmy, that's just not true. They're going, oh, yeah, no, totally.
Yeah, man.
That's of course not true. And I think there's a way to change and evolve. Like, if you look at the guys that were on Tough Crowd, Jim Norton, Colin Quinn, not so much DePaulo, but like a lot of those guys probably don't use as harsh a language as they did 20 years ago on Tough Crowd because it's a natural evolution. You know what I mean? Like, there are comics that are still edgy today that haven't completely sold out who they were. I'm not saying you have to have girls jumping on trampolines in the background of Jimmy Kimmel Live. That would be a hack bit now. But you don't have to completely sell out who you were. You've abandoned that. You've cried on television and apologized for it. Now, you can have your reasons for doing that, and that might make an interesting podcast. But for Sigura to not have a follow-up question about it, I think that's a betrayal to comedy because Kimmel went after your boy, Tom. He said, horse dewormer and all this stuff, like called Rogan an idiot, basically. And Rogan responded to it. You have him on and can say, well, it's partly because of your response to COVID and you've become this political figure now. You don't like joke and have fun on your show the way you used to. Everything seems to have an angry slant and you cry at the drop of a hat. And that seems a lot different than the guy we used to know. But Sigura is just such a ball washer that he's like, no, totally, Jimmy. You're 100% right.
Yeah, man. You got to keep that ABC door open, that Disney door open.
That's what's frustrating when I watch guys get to a certain level. It's like, oh, no, Tom, you don't need Kimmel. Kimmel needs you.
Yep.
Jimmy Kimmel is going on Two Bears, One Cave because it's a much more hip show and probably has a bigger audience than Jimmy Kimmel Live now. Like, the industry needs you guys. You don't have to lick their assholes. That's something I think Rogan has figured out. I think, like, Shane Gillis and certain guys, Tim Dillon is aware of that. Andrew Schultz, I think, is aware of that. But, like, Sigura and Bert, I think, so badly want to be ingratiated. Similar to what happened with Stern and Kimmel, they want the Hollywood elite to love them. And they're willing to just look past anything for that.
It's fame is a very tasty drug, Mike.
Oh yeah.
No,
you realize
the
that
content of the show is different, but
that hate that goes your way is because you like stood up for like healthcare. Like they're just mad that you actually used.
That's not true. Oh my! Well, finish what he's saying because this is
your
gross.
Platform for something good that offends them. For
I don't
whatever.
know if it's that. I think it's
Kimmel has more. It's amazing how much more perspective Kimmel has. Where Sigura is like, you know what everyone was mad about? You said 95% of our fans. By the way, he's shitting on his own fans because Kimmel said it was 98% of them. He's like, you know what our fans hate about you is that you used your platform for good. So Sigura, completely detached from his audience, is saying like, oh, well, they're all just retards, Jim. Don't worry about it. Keep your chin up. And Jimmy Kimmel has to be the one that's like, I think you're letting me off a little too easy here, Tom.
Yeah, the reason I'm on this show is to get some good like feedback, and you're making it hard for me, Tom.
Yeah, and it was like when I heard, so I listened to a little bit of it just to find this clip, and he's talking about Corolla and the old man show days, and it's like, oh, there's the old Jimmy Kimmel kind of just being a regular guy hanging out. It's when he becomes elitist Hollywood Kimmel that we don't like him. So I think Kimmel went on here with the goal of trying to seem like a relatable comedy figure. And Tom won't allow him to have that because he brings out this elitist douchiness that Sigura wants to be a part of.
Yeah. Kimmel's on an apology tour. Segura's like, no, you don't need to apologize. He's like, no, I very do need to apologize. That's the reason I'm fucking here, asshole.
and Segura's going to say oh, it's a portion of the audience you don't have to respond to. Rogan would ask him about this stuff. Andrew Schultz would ask him about this stuff. Tim Dillon and Shane Gillis, these guys that are your peers, Tom, and just as big comics as you, if not bigger, they would ask him about this stuff. Now, would Andrew Schultz get in his face about it? No. He has some fucking decorum, He'd be a human being about it. But he would ask him about the ivermectin stuff and apologizing for the Karl Malone thing and all the sobbing that Kimmel has done over the years. That would come up in probably a jokey way, and maybe it wouldn't appease all of Andrew Schultz's audience, and people on Reddit would call him a loser for not handling it the way they think they would have handled it, but you would at least be honest about it. And Bert is trying to be honest, where he's like, oh no, the audience fucking hates Kimmel. And Tom is like, no, it's these losers that I look down at. It's the same people that criticize me for flying in a pastry chef to make me a croissant in the morning and then flying them back to where they were.
Yeah,
it's the people that think I've lost touch with my audience. It's those assholes, Jim.
Another analogy, and I think it's very apples to apples, is imagine Stern is the guest, and they're like, oh man, everyone's saying my radio show isn't what it used to be. And Tom's like, no, it's exactly the same.
They're saying that?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about here, because
I've said this before. I think Kimmel's change might be more drastic than Stern's.
Possibly, yeah.
At least as drastic.
If you go to the Man Show to now, yes. I mean, absolutely, because that's the same thing as Howard, being on those old FCC tapes to now. It's just like a 180, a full 180, exactly 180 degrees.
I think it is.
You've busted Trump's balls.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But, I think they, usually people like busting balls in general, whatever it is. But
Kimmel has such a better perspective on this. He's like, yeah, I busted Trump's balls, but people in general like that kind of. So that's not it.
What it is there's this idea that I somehow made an adjustment in order to be part of Hollywood or something.
Yeah.
Which is just really not true. And also that I have some level of political correctness. And well, obviously there are things I care about and whatever, but when it comes to comedy, I don't care what anybody does. I mean, I've never criticized another comic for what they never. And
well, you wept and criticized your own comedy, which is kind of the same thing, because then it got other people in trouble. It said, oh, well, no one's allowed to do this stuff anymore. And if you did it when it was acceptable, you have to pay the same price as Kimmel. You have to get on television and cut yourself and humiliate yourself because you've been a very bad boy. But like I said, Kimmel has more perspective than Sigura here. He was as close as he could be, because I think he has lost touch with reality. I think it's somewhat natural when you get to that level. He was as honest as he could be about his situation. Now, if he had said, listen, I think they've lost touch with they think I've lost touch with who I was. And to some perspective, I get that. I am in a Hollywood bubble now. So maybe I have changed and wouldn't joke about things I would. But I have a family and a business to protect. So yeah, there probably are things I would have joked about when I was 28 years old that I won't joke about as a man in his 60s or however old Kimmel is, that would be, to me, a reasonable response. And Sigura doesn't want him to have that. It's weird.
Yeah, I can never be mad at Jimmy Kimmel. He had Eric the Midget on.
Right. Well, that's all that. Yeah. That's
he bought my forever love then.
That's all that matters.
He had the little guy on. It was awesome. Yeah. All right, Blind Mike, we're no super chats, so you want to get to Joe Rogan with Terrence and
Eric? Yeah. Well, that was pretty much my thought on Kimmel. Was just that it's weird that he has a much better perspective on his career than Tom Segura. But yeah, for those of you that didn't see this, Terence Howard is back on Joe Rogan. And I could have cut a lot more, I think. I just figured we had plenty to get to this week. So Terence Howard, we heard him on the Joe Rogan Experience. And Eric Weinstein also heard him. Eric Weinstein is, I don't fully know his list of credentials, but he's an academic. He has taught courses at MIT and things like that. Very smart guy.
He should teach courses on how to let a lady down easy, because that's what he does in this thing. He lets her down easy.
Well, so he goes on Rogan and he says, hey, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like that Terence Howard was saying. But what I liked even less was the response to him by academics, people dunking on him and just being like, he basically alluded to the fact that his colleagues were like, you fucking retard. Boo, get out of here, you loser. And Eric Weinstein's argument was like, I don't think that's a way to behave. Like when someone presents ideas, we should, if we think they're wrong, teach them why they're wrong or examine possibly why they're right. So he went on Rogan with the intent to open people's minds, including Terence Howard's. And I don't think he ever quite got there.
No. 1 by 1 equals 2.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this by now, but Terence Howard's big theory is that you may think 1 times 1 is 1. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself. Not so. Terence Howard says 1 times 1 is 2. And that's the big theory that people have been railing against. And so this is them bringing it up on Rogan.
We're going to get into something about multiplication, where Terence has an issue with multiplication. But to the best of my knowledge, you don't have an issue with addition.
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with multiplication either.
Well, then why?
Imagine, I got to say this. I rarely give credit to Stuttering John. At least Stuttering John's issues are with human beings. Terence Howard's like, I'm filing a lawsuit against multiplication.
The times table screwed me.
Multiplication has come after my mother, my sister, my pubs.
Vinny, the multiplication table. Quit calling me. Quit sending me food.
1 is what?
1 times 1 should equal 2. And action times an action. If you can show me one place in the universe.
But you just shifted frames.
No. Show me one place in the universe.
I do like the balls that Terence Howard has, where he's like, no, you shut up, doctor. You think you're so smart? Let me tell you something, Eric Weinstein, you bitch.
You remember when Joaquin Phoenix played that fake character walking around for like a year and they made a movie out of it? What if Terence Howard has pulled on us the greatest troll of all time?
It's the only great explanation. That you might be onto something, because I don't know a lot about what Terence Howard was like before. But like no functional. These are the rantings of a homeless man.
It is. I hear this in Venice Beach quite often.
Yeah, I will. Here's my one defense of Terence Howard. He clearly knows more about mathematics than like I do, because things come up in this conversation like where Eric Weinstein's like, oh well, that's not true. I couldn't refute them.
Right.
So he's clearly learned enough to sound smarter than like an idiot like me could argue with. So I guess that's a feather in his cap.
It does make sense, though, why he was released from Iron Man and that franchise. If he was like with his agent doing the math on the figures, like, well, you're getting this much. Well, he's like, no, I get twice that. He's like, no, you're getting it's twice that. You can't have an action and an equal reaction. Like, goddamn, get him off this movie set.
He probably got thrown off Iron Man because he was like, the science doesn't work, and I'll tell you why. They're like, we're just making a fucking superhero movie, man.
I'd love those stories.
Natural observable phenomenon where 1 times 1 equals 1, where an action times an action doesn't have a reaction.
So then you just went into there's a concept called logomachy, which is arguing over words. And what you want is not to be caught. If I can beat you in a word game, or you can beat me in a word game.
You can beat me in a word game. I didn't go to MIT in a word game. I heard.
I'm just a downtrodden genius.
Just a Goodwill Hunting over here, solving problems on the blackboard.
I'm just a down on his luck genius. I'm David to your Goliath. I'm just a guy. I ain't had no fancy book learning. I'm just telling you that all mathematics we've ever known to be true are wrong.
You may have a calculator over there, but I'm tapping my head. I got one of these.
But to give you the idiot's definition of what Eric Weinstein's saying is basically like, you can get hung up on definitions and argue words. But what Eric Weinstein's saying is like, does the math bear out? Like, or is this something we've all accepted to be true? Like, are you having a word game with me where technically 1 times 1 can't equal 1? Or are you saying that there's been a massive cover-up on the multiplication table that big math doesn't want us to know about?
No, you went to MIT. Yeah, that's my answer. You went to MIT.
Partnership. He wants to leave here with a partnership.
Oh, so this is where this would be like if fucking Joe Rogan had me on to make fun of me, and I was like, "Well, Joe, I figured when I left out of here today with my portion of the Spotify money, I thought we could talk big picture stuff." That's what you're hearing with Terence Howard, where he's like, "Listen, this could be Eric Weinstein. This could be pretty profitable for you if you play your cards right here."
We might just make ourselves a time machine.
I'm trying to explain physics the way you explain it.
Well, okay.
I'm looking for a partnership at the end of this. That's what I'm hoping.
You hear in Eric Weinstein's voice, he's like, well, you can't. You're not capable of that. You're just not as smart as me. I'm sorry, Terrence.
To win you over as a proselyte.
You can try.
I'm
there's part of
hoping
you
that
that's
the information does that.
There's at least one area that you have won me over in, which I'm very excited about. But I'd like to get back to
What is that area? Don't leave us hanging.
the linchpin. We'll get to it.
Yeah, but you can't leave us hanging.
Well, I'm trying to get back. Look, I'm trying to do a service to this.
Go
Listen,
ahead,
let me
let
you talk.
I'm trying to do a service to this idiot. Come on, Joe.
This is where you hear two meatheads making fun of a door. And I like Rogan. I think he's smarter than some people give him credit for. Not as smart as others give him credit for. But this is where you hear just two guys bullying a physicist or whatever the hell Eric Weinstein is. Where he's like,
to get a noogie.
He's like, I'm trying to make logical points. And they're like, you nerd and your fucking points.
Give him a swirly.
This is where I think Eric Weinstein realized, like, I'm not going to get anything done here today, am I?
I wasted a trip. Well, I got the gift bag. I got the Joe Rogan gift bag. He's counting the things in there right now.
Talk. You just can't talk. Stop trying to control everything, you freak.
He's got a plan.
I know. He's got like a very
Look at this dork with a plan. He's like, that's the only reason I'm here.
What Joe has done to science is fucking amazing.
Have a good time.
Can I get an ayahuasca chino?
I'm just trying to have fun with it.
He's like, I need to get high. Get me as high as these idiots.
Well, that's why.
Pull up that, Jamie, is the title for this one.
Oh, this is how you know it's a conversation among geniuses. Watch how long this is. Poor Jamie.
He's getting that.
A genius has sent him a link, and Jamie has to try to pull it up.
All right, here we go. Sorry.
Anyway,
plan.
he didn't
have a good time.
Can I get an ayahuasca chino?
It's pretty funny, actually.
Well, that's why. While he's getting that, I'm going to.
Got it.
It's on your no, I don't. I'm on your website. I don't know exactly where the book would be.
Oh,
to one of these links.
Just go down. I think it'll be.
Oh no!
He didn't have the forethought to send this to Jamie before the show.
But he has created new elements, but he forgets to send an email. Okay.
It also shouldn't be this hard to find, by the way.
No, go down. There is the proof that proves everything in history. Yes.
I've given Craig shit sometimes for taking too long Googling stuff. This is the biggest podcast in the world. So, Craig, I apologize. Jamie gets paid millions to do this, and it's taking him for fucking ever.
Yeah, I don't blame Jamie on this one.
No.
A little more. Square root of 2. No.
Just scroll through all my gibberish. It's the gibberish at the bottom, not the gibberish in the middle.
Yeah, if you'll just type into my book, TCO.
That's what I'm looking. Well, where's the book?
It's.
Or you could also Google OTOET.
OTOET will take you to that?
Yeah, 1 times 1.
Terrence Howard's like, I don't know what that is. And Eric Weinstein's like, well, it's exactly what you're looking for and a much easier way to find it. You've literally written the book on this and you don't know what I'm talking about?
The confusion from the smartest man on the planet is scaring me, Mike. I don't know what to think.
2 is the acronym.
If you go to TCOTLC.com and I'll be able to pull up. I'll then TCOTLC.
I don't remember. Oppenheimer was a little long, so maybe I dozed off for part of it. I don't remember the scene where Albert Einstein is like, Jamie, bring up the thing on the nuclear bomb. No. Scroll down. No, not that one, Jamie.
No. MC squared, Jamie. Squared, asshole.
Yep, right below there. Terence Howard. Yep. Tap
Flower
on.
Life, this.
Yep. Flower of Life. Let's see if you just open up the book. You got to open it, though. Download.
It's not a physical book.
Right there.
I don't know if that's what.
You know, for all these conservatives being DEI this, DEI that, this is awful DEI, Joe Rogan.
Downloads the book.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see. Open.
I'm clicking that, and that just takes me to this, and then it's not doing anything.
It's not doing it.
Let's try searching Google OTO.
Eric Weinstein's like, how about Google, gang? This is easily accessible.
I mean, we have 624 in the chat, and if I'm 1 second late of pressing something, I start to sweat thinking you're going to get on my back. This is the biggest podcast. I'm like, no, just go to this page. What about that one? How about that? No, like, they're just fucking off. God
and then
damn.
Jamie's even more frustrated because he's like, now I got two of these assholes telling me what to look up. Let me find one of them.
Can I go back to the Laugh Factory?
All right. So if you go and then put in Howard.
Basic search engine shit.
No.
Or put in PDF. Should be able to pick. Yeah, okay. That's probably right.
Biggest podcast in the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And then go to page 134 on the right-hand side.
You do have several editions.
They're in the wrong book.
He has several editions.
Hey, Terrence, if you're on Rogan a third time, maybe highlight a few things and email them to Jamie.
No, it's my 4th edition of bullshit, not my 3rd edition of bullshit.
Because he says, he's like, pull this book up because I'm going to be referencing it a lot.
Book. Self-publishing is amazing.
I didn't even, that other one somebody else set up there to probably distract and keep people from being able to find it.
It's probably the government.
Yeah, we're going to do that later. You're gonna
Rogan's laughing at him now.
The conspiracy guy as well. That's one conspiracy too far for me.
They're coming.
I believe we got moons on the base, but this guy put together this website. Come on.
Tap on that jewel right there.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is
crazy how
and we can
long this is
rotate that with the cursor and get a.
What's great about this, I'll be able to pull pieces out of it. Yeah. So just tap onto that
Brilliant.
drill. So we can start with this.
Very
Jesus
much like
Christ.
very much like a picture you would see a guy in the insane asylum draw.
It was truly exhausting.
It was, but we got there. Here you go.
And then Eric Weinstein with a smile. Shout out to Eric Weinstein for being patient enough because he's like, okay, brilliant. I'm glad we got there. Thank God.
One step closer to disproving all of your bullshit. We can at least see your bullshit.
Not since Richard Lewis is a man calling something brilliant been such a lie.
Hey-o. All right, this one's called Truth.
Okay.
I think he dropped some truth bombs.
Oh, so well, this is him talking about. This is why I liked that the podcast happened. Like, I didn't pull every clip that I could have. It's 4 hours. Go watch the whole thing if you're interested. But I do like, this is where I defend Rogan, because people shit on Rogan for, like, you know, he thinks he's this intellectual and he's not, whatever. I like that Rogan is willing to have this conversation, and I think Eric Weinstein pretty much nails it here.
We need to do a better job. Look, right now we're in a crisis where no one knows what's true. Nobody knows who's full of shit. Nobody knows where they can trust, what they can trust, who they can trust. And one of the things that actually, moved me to come and to reach out to Joe is that by default, I think, I've addressed the National Academy of Sciences 4 times, I think, because they were lying and I caught them. And so they wanted to know how much I knew about their lie. It's weird to think that this little studio, in a weird way, is one of the rivals of universities when we don't know what's going on at Harvard. As you have recently seen, we don't kick out plagiarists. We don't check what's going on at the National Institute of Health. And so it's very strange that this table is one of the last things that is trusted by many people. And that's one of the reasons I'm here, which is people have a chance to see people in conversation about things. And, you screw up, but the conversation's recorded and we all go on and people have a chance to see what's coming out. If we can go back to the flower of life, I can try to.
I would love that.
They would love that.
But it's funny because Terence Howard's not really understanding what Eric Weinstein is saying is like, it's really cool that someone can spew the bullshit that Terence Howard spewed. And then I can come on and correct the record, and Joe's willing to do all of that. I actually think what he said about Rogan is very beautiful there, and I think it's true. Where it's like, I like that Rogan has those conversations, and he has these doctors on that refute what was being said about vaccines and all that type of shit. doesn't mean you have to believe him. It just means all the information is out there and you can pick apart what you do and don't like. Terence Howard is like, yeah, no, exactly. He's promoting that 1 × 1 = 2. That's ultimately what Terence Howard is stuck on.
We got a partnership. Hell. Yeah, I like that Weinstein guy. I mean, you need someone like that out there to feel free. Like, not everyone's going to go confront the nonsense.
I don't know enough about. If you go to like Rogan's subreddit, and again, you can't always trust that. But if you like see people talk about Eric and Brett Weinstein, people call them grifters and all. I don't know enough about the Weinsteins. From what seems like a much smarter guy than me. I don't know enough to refute anything you say. But I liked his general attitude of like, I'm going to come on here. I'm not going to shout at Terence Howard. I'm not going to call him an idiot. I'm just going to point by point show things that disprove everything he's saying.
Yeah, and do it in a way that's like, respectful enough because this guy also might stab me in the eyes. If you Terence Howard has a little bit of that in him where if you just cross him a little too much, he might not be enjoyed. We got one super chat here, Blind Mike. Go ahead, DJ Lex.
Guys, we're never going to hit the goal like this.
Dang Lizard for €2. Okay, if I eat an apple 1 time, I've eaten 2 apples.
That's true. That's true.
Right?
1 × 1 apple = 2 apples.
That's exactly right, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
You want to get into this Matarese stuff a little bit before we get out of here?
Sure. So here's what I would recommend, because I watched the whole thing go down.
Yeah, I have not seen this yet.
And so the comedy special itself is sort of uneventful. You can cover, I mean, it's eventful. Some eventful stuff happens.
Okay.
But I think for what we're talking about here, just to give a slice and a sample, I think what we need. So what happened is Joe Matarese decided, and it is great decision-making skills, that I'm just going to go and perform a live set and record it. Now, this isn't a Joe Matarese special or anything like that. This is just a comedy club. Anyone can be there. Anything can happen, right?
Matarese Live.
Matarese Live. That's a great idea. This is the one, Mike. This is the one. This is the one that's going to do it. Well, it wasn't the one, Mike. It wasn't the one.
Damn it.
And unfortunately, I'll let him tell it why it wasn't the one. But he gets, like, if he's doing a live show, he gets caught into things sometimes where he can't take his mind out of it. And he's very much like a Ray DeVito type. I mean, it is a certain type of comedian.
Yeah.
And so something happened on stage that then you will see when you cover it. But again, it's not as important and fun as him talking about it afterwards. So what we're getting here is after the show, he's talking about what just happened.
So before we hear that, let me just explain real quick. I think what we'll do, and by the way, go check out our boy David Collins with Carl. I think they talked about it on WATP yesterday. I haven't checked that out yet either. I wanted take some time to fully dissect all of this. So I think what we're going to do is play a little bit that Casey recommends here. And then when I go into the tape and watch it, maybe me and Craig will do something on Patreon this week, kind of like we did with the special, where you get a little taste here. And then if you want the full thing, we'll go to Patreon, because Joe gets very sensitive when we talk about him on the free feed. So you gotta really search for it if you want to find it.
He does. He will do real crying, not like Aaron. And so, you don't want to talk about him too much. So, just for context, he did that live stand-up, and then he erased it. And then he jumped back
I got
online.
messages about this, by the way. Somehow someone recorded it for Carl. And like I said, go check out him and David talking about it, too. I'm sure they did a bang-up job. But I have not seen that set yet, nor have I seen this, which you did immediately afterwards.
Yes, reaction to the set, and just tell me when you want to stop this. If you get too much, I don't want you to get too much.
Yeah.
I got a lot to explain here.
So it doesn't seem like it went well.
No. Some of you guys all come on live that tried to watch that live stream earlier. I'll wait till a bunch of you come on before I'll explain.
Can I guess? I don't know. I don't have the numbers here. Can I guess a bunch means like 8 people in this chat?
I think there's, God, am I seeing 5? I might be seeing 45 or 15 or 45 or 5. It's so small I can't tell. But it is a smaller, it is not it. I mean, hey, we'll take 45 over Hack Right Studios. Come on over.
Actually went down. I don't think you could tell what actually went down if you were watching it earlier. As I'm losing my voice.
This is like what Michael Richards had to do after his set.
That would have been amazing.
I can't think of a comparison of why you'd have to be giving a statement like this.
Comedy is fucking crazy. What just happened? A show in Connecticut. Let's see if anybody comes on to the live stream.
Hey, Joe. If no one's on the live stream, maybe you don't have to give a fucking apology.
There was no one watching any of this.
This is when, like when Michael Scott invites the newspaper editor in to give the apology.
The greatest thing ever. They give that big
story
check.
no one gives a fuck about.
I don't want your check. I want an apology. And the guy's still sitting there. Oh, it was great. God, I love you. Love The Office.
As I'm walking to my car after the show here in Stanford. Only two
Who's
of you are
raining
on
down
so
on him on the
far.
street? Get out of our town, Joe Matarese.
What I thought was a 5 is a 2. It's 2 people watching.
What you've done to Stanford is unforgivable. Get out of town and never look back.
Which two are here?
Oh, God.
Where is everybody?
I have been in his chats when there's like 10 people in there, and he will call you by name. He does. Yeah, he knows everyone in his chat because there's like 4 of us. He's just showing the street, thinking. Come on, Joe.
He's waiting for something that's never going to come, and that's for the number to say 1 million.
This is nice. I've never seen Connecticut.
Lovely Stanford.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, a few more people came on. Let's see how many people come on before I start explaining.
I swear to God, I've only seen one other person do this, and it's Joseph Catalano. Catalano TV.
All right, now that we're up to 3, I'll finally address the nationwide controversy.
All right, we got 6 in here. Now I'll tell you why Stuttering John's an idiot.
In that live stream of my show in Connecticut, about an hour ago it started. Who was watching that?
No one.
Thank you for saying my special was awesome. Appreciate that.
Well, Joe, after the atrocity that you've committed on Stanford, Connecticut, the special was a breath of fresh air.
Oh, God, did you see what he posted too? Like, who has given this guy advice? So he posted his special, and now he's posting clips of his special, but they're like 20, 30, 40-minute long. They're not like short clips. They're not short clips. You'd think he'd do minute clips or something. No, it's just like we do with mic drops, but with giant segments of his show.
Oh, Joe.
It makes no sense. You just cut your show up and made it
ill-advised.
Even worse digestible. Who talks to this guy?
Appreciate that. So,
copyright
I had
strike this
planned on trying
motherfucker.
to do something kind of fun, which was put a whole set list of material together with all new stuff, and I was going to.
Joe, you just did a special. That's a horrible idea. What I thought I'd do is go half-cocked into brand new material, and that everyone would shower me with roses and gifts and money.
You know that material I spent years on where no one watched? Well, I just penned some stuff out in 30 seconds. I'm sure this will do it.
I got on stage and shat out some material, and guys, you're not going to believe this. It didn't go great.
Yeah, had to erase that one.
I can't wait to watch the set now.
I know. That's why I wanted to do this, because it set it up.
Yeah, I like it. This is like a Tarantino way of doing this. I like it.
Me doing it, having fun on stage.
Still waiting for people.
I'll probably do it again in the future, but I had to take that one down. For a lot.
And I'll do it again. Your Honor, I now have the thirst for blood.
I just hope there's more children at the next show.
This is what the Joker says. fucking cars honking by him. He's just out on the streets of Gotham. And he's like, sure, was it a tragedy? Yes, but I'll do it again the second I get a chance.
Sure, does it totally derail my career every time I do this? Yes. Am I doing it again? Yes.
I have to give an apologetic statement, but will I do it again? Probably.
I learned nothing.
A lot of reasons.
The people in the streets are celebrating that Joe Matarese is leaving their town.
It was like
we got rid of this monster.
It's like when Bin Laden dies. People are just jumping out of their apartments. Yeah!
So let me explain here.
Please do.
So I was doing this show. So you saw, and when I was doing it, I walk on stage, and there's a lady sitting to the right with 8-year-old twins, just sitting there.
Oh, what a bitch!
And I
hope
knew
you
the
took her
material.
down a few notches.
What comedy club is this?
I wanted to talk about was dirty. She's got her fucking 8-year-old twins sitting there.
Yeah, maybe that's
And
why you
I'm
shouldn't
like-
brand yourself as an Italian family comedian.
What? Only 93.7%, Mike. He's only 93.7% Italian.
It's like fucking John Mulaney did a thing. I went to his special taping, and I saw him one other time, like at the very beginning of that tour, and both times he called out. If you watch Baby J, he calls out like an 11-year-old in the audience. He made a point to do that because there would be kids in his audience, and he makes a joke about how a lot of the material in this show is going to be more adult than he's usually deals with, and he makes it funny. Joe, on the other hand, I don't know what happened, but saw children in his audience. Cut to him giving an apology for the nation.
How bad do you want to see this show?
I don't know what happened in the middle, but
just a bunch of bad jokes, I guarantee. I don't even remember. I just know that's what happened.
This is gonna be weird. Did you pay to get in? I said to her, and she's looking at me like I'm crazy, like she didn't pay to get in.
Wait, what?
He said, "Did you pay to get in?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah." And he's like, "That's crazy because you got kids. Did they pay?"
Yeah, Joe, I don't know. She got in. I got to say, at the point in your career, you shouldn't be shooing away audience members.
I know. Specifically, you. Get out of
Hey,
here.
bitch! Did you pay?
Especially people that brought +2. God damn, she's bringing like a whole family.
And people
here.
that seem to be enjoying, by his account, enjoying the show and sitting quietly. She wasn't calling out or heckling. She was just sitting there.
I'm like, ugh.
Maybe he's like a scared of The Shining or something. He's like, I see twins, I freak out, man.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck's going on? And finally I say to her, Can you please leave? I asked nicely. I go, I don't feel
Why?
comfortable.
What did she do?
He's a comedian who doesn't feel comfortable. Mike, come on.
Can you imagine? Like, I'm trying to think of a vulgar like Jim Norton or Big J Okerson or David Tell, like these guys that are Doug Stanhope. These guys that are really like vulgar and dirty in their acts. Can you imagine the material they would have if 2 8-year-olds were sitting front row at their show? They would handle it great.
They're right now on the phone with their agent, like, get some kids in the audience. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta do-
And if the mom got offended and left, that's the cost of doing business. But Joe is like, hey, bitch.
The comedian got offended by the crowd.
Yeah, you're right. The comedian got offended by the crowd. He's like, drag this overgrown sperm you've created out of here.
Doing stand-up adult material
Yeah, Joe's
in
so
front
edgy.
of your 2 8-year-old.
Hey, did you ever notice that the 80s are different than now? Oh, get these kids out of here. They can't hear that blue material.
20 years from now, one of those kids will be like, have a crush fetish where they're like crushing bugs and stuff. I saw it at Joe Matarese's sex show 20 years ago. Got me all horned up on these bug crushing.
Joe thinks he's so edgy that kids can't hear his material.
His show sucks. I watched the whole special. There's nothing edgy in it.
In the fucking front row. Can you leave? And she left nicely. She's like, okay. I go, did you pay to
Comedian
get in?
heckles audience member.
The balls, man.
How did you even get in here? And she's just looking at me oddly. She gets up.
That's an evergreen.
As she should be. She's just looking at me oddly, as she should be.
You know, I notice everyone always looks at me oddly. What's wrong with them?
When I ask people to leave my show for no reason, and they see that there's literally no one else here, they think it's so weird that I've made them leave.
I'm sending half the audience out.
With her 2 8-year-olds, and she leaves, right? She leaves. I'm going to stop here on the street to explain this to you. So she leaves,
Wow, that's how you know it's powerful.
And,
It's stopped on the street.
I start to try to go into my my set list that I had prepared, that I was going to riff for all the people on YouTube to watch. Thought it would have been interesting to watch me try to fucking make all these subjects funny that I've never done on stage before, which is probably crazy that I was trying to do that.
Joe,
Not many-
people literally do that. Jeremiah Watkins has a show called Stand Up on the Spot, where people literally yell out topics that they have no idea they're going to yell, and you have to make stand-up out of it. It's a hit show on YouTube.
There's all these shows
It's
too
so
where people.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's so crazy. I had this idea where I bring my friend Tony up on stage with me, and we have open mic comedians come up, and they try to kill Tony and I. And we do it live every Monday. It's this really crazy idea I had.
I had this crazy idea where we sit around and watch people on YouTube and make fun of them in the moment. Can you believe it?
Jesus Christ, dude.
I thought I could do this thing where I have all kinds of different guests. I have physicists and I have historians and professors, and sometimes I have comics, and we just talk for, I don't know, 2-3 hours. I was going to call it the Joe Matarese experience. It was this really crazy idea that only I had.
Now let me explain my thought process on this. No, we don't want to hear your thought process.
Comedians could go riff 45 minutes. But I was like, oh, let's see if I can do it. So after I asked the lady to leave, I start to go into the material, and I'm bombing. I'm getting nothing.
And it's this bitch's fault.
Well, if you would have had an audience and didn't kick him out, maybe some people would have been there to laugh, asshole.
I'm so torn here because I want to hear all of this. But I also want to pause and save it for the full breakdown.
Yeah, I think that's it. I don't want to give you any more
Okay.
because
All right.
yeah, I think that's enough now to pique your interest on that.
Oh, my interest is incredible.
How
you know
hard
what?
are you?
Here's what I think I might do now, and tell me if this is a good idea because you've seen all of it.
Yes.
I think I'm going to go in completely dry. I won't watch the stand-up. Or do you think I should?
No, you're gonna get chafed. No, go no. Do it that way. Do it.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Do it.
So on Patreon, sometime this week, I'll get Ironhead to watch this with me, and
not
we will
gonna
give
laugh.
a full breakdown. We'll do the stand-up and the apology.
You're not gonna laugh, but the irony is you will laugh. Comedy doesn't make you laugh, but the situation will make you
I'm
laugh.
so excited. Joe kicked out this poor lady who thought she was seeing a nice night of Italian comedy.
And then bombed. And then bombed.
You know, if he had bombed, he would have blamed it whether he kicked her out and they left or not. He would have blamed it on them if they'd stayed. So
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, it was all this bitch's fault, as we know. That one thing we're sure of, it was this twat, this filthy lady, and her dumb kids that left the house at 7 on a weekday.
I blame 2 kids sitting there quietly. God damn you! Get out of here.
All right. So that's very exciting. So look forward to that for Patreon and YouTube members. You can become a Patreon or YouTube member. Blindmike.net is where you can get all those links. If you're watching on YouTube right now, just click join. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month. Or you can become a Patreon member. And that's where we watch Quincy and other stuff as well if you want to check that out. Or just support the show for free. If this was enough for you, then we appreciate the support there. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a 5-star review wherever you get podcasts. All that stuff helps more people find this show. So we appreciate you doing your part. And if you don't, I'll kill myself.
No, don't say that, Mike.
So you better.
In Minecraft. He's a Minecraft player. And
Yeah, of course. I'll unalive myself.
Yes, and also, people, go grab a Blind Mike membership, and you will get to see him break down this great Joe Matarese.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. And go check out Hackride's channel. Check out Hackride and Casey Day and DJ Electra and Boney the Boner and all the great people over at Hackride Studios, at Hackride on YouTube. Go check him out. Get yourself a membership there as well. Support the boys over at boys and gals over at Hackride Studios.
Absolutely. Thank you, Blind Mike. As always, it's a pleasure. Let me know if Krager's has some more dick to sling around this summer, and I'll be there for you.
Thank you, buddy. And when's DJ Electra's show? When's Lunchbox?
Yeah, so that's a great question. DJ Electra's show is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 3:15 p.m. And also we do Catch 22 on Tuesdays. We have so many shows over there. Just get over to @HackRight on YouTube and become a Hack Writer.
All right, go check that out. So go watch DJ Electra tomorrow. Thank you guys for joining us, and I think that's it. We'll get the hell out of here.
All right, everyone, have a great day. We'll see you next time.
His name is Blind Mike to Stuttering John. That's not enough. I will name you, I will dox you. I am the evil Stuttering John. Blind Mike will defeat you. Blind Mike will always beat you. Blind Mike is funny and John is out of money, and that is why